Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children cry for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Vanjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepa, gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah. Hello, and welcome to the program Spoon Talk, fellow Liberians. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are. This is the nation's biggest platform. My name is Baron Brown, and I'm here with my colleague, Damo. It pleases me to be here with him. Damo, how are you coming?
I'm doing great, Chairman Baron. It's a pleasure being here with you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody watching us. Good evening to the folks in Liberia listening to us across the Spoon Network. It's a pleasure, as I said. We are holding down the fort until the rest of the panelists can come on to then continue from where we'll stop.
Well, that's it. So we have so many training issues in the country that we are going to discuss tonight on Spoon Talk. And I'm going to share some of the training issues in our country. Then Damon will also come in. And like what he said, after that, the rest of the panelists will also come in tonight, to be on the program. So, Damon, can I start from my end?
Yeah, sure, Baron. You can bring us up to speed with what's trending from your end. And I've got a couple of stories to share as well. So, yeah, you can kickstart from your end what's trending there.
Well, so basically today, the Senate Joint Committee on Lands, Mines, Natural Resources, and Environment on Labor and Concession paid a fact-finding mission to the Western Cluster Limited Concession Area in Bomi County. Folks, if you have been following this whole issue of somebody last year, and even this year, it was an issue that was being raised, that quote unquote some lawmakers in the county had received kickbacks from the company, and that was also dispelled, or ruled against by the company. So, like I said today, some senators they visited that area. They were in Bomi County, and to do a fact findings in that Edenego region, how doing their own assessment about the company, the operation of the company. So basically, that's what happened to them. And aside from that, the Ministry of Agriculture has confirmed, and this is very much worrisome, where the Ministry of Agriculture has confirmed an outbreak of armyworms in what's the name of the county, Bon County, and that latest revelation was made today by the government and one Collie 9, he made that identical revelation. So, Damo, this
Yeah.
is where we are. What do you have from your end?
Well, today I've been in conversation with our counter correspondent there in Grand Bassa. We're still following up on the damage that has occurred there on the St. John's River Bridge. That is one bearing, has cracked, and due to that, there has been a reduced vehicular movement on the St. John's River Bridge, according to Grand Bassa County lawmaker Matthew Fairplay Joe, as well as Senator Jonathan Kape, including the Minister of Public Works. They've all confirmed that a bearing under the bridge, the bearing is a key component of the bridge. One of the bearings there, according to them, it cracked. But if you look at it, it has split into two. There is one half and another half, so it's like only half is still in place. So what is worrisome is there's been an increase or a hike in the prices of commodities there in Grand Bassa County. I got a call from our county correspondent today. Rice, that a 25 kg bag of rice that used to be sold around 2,850 is now 4,000 Liberian dollars in Grand Bassa County. Imagine Riversdale and other counties depend on Grand Bassa and Monrovia to get Montserrado County to get some essential commodities. And Grand Bassa, their closest point of call, if you're selling a bag of rice for 4,000 Liberian dollars, then how much will you sell a bag of rice in Riversdale County and other counties that you can link up to from Grand Bassa County? So the prices of basic commodities in that county, they've increased astronomically, not even by 100 or 200, by thousands of dollars. There is a detachment of the LNP at the both ends of the bridge. So only in vehicles carrying essential commodities and essential personalities are allowed to cross. People are using alternative means to cross. And when we get reprieve, when the people of Grand Bassa County get reprieve from this particular situation, we've been told it's going to take some months, but with the urgency that the matter now has gotten, we're praying that this matter can be resolved in a very short time, and not just to resolve it as a quick fix, but at least to get it done sustainably. They need to check the other bearings. If one has got a problem, instead of just changing one, go and do the fact-finding mission and check the rest to see the lifespan of those bearings, if they're okay to go for another 10-20 years, or there is a need to change all of them as well, so that you don't have the same thing reoccurring. So that's from Grand Bassa County and other counties that are linked up from the Bassa corridor there as well. So there is also a trending news, but it's not from Liberia. It's actually from the United Kingdom. Yeah, where a female, has been caught in the act of pretense, acting like a male, and catfished another female.
Wow.
Yeah, and cajoled another female into having a relationship. So in Great Britain, let me get the
what's the national?
Yeah,
Liberian citizen?
No, they're all British citizens.
British
I just found it out to be an interesting story. It's not all about politics. Sometimes we have to chip in with the human interest story as well. It's an interesting development. She posed as a male. So a young woman named Georgia Bilham, age 24, was charged in the UK for sexually assaulting a 19-year-old woman multiple times. So Bilham pretended to be a man by using Snapchat, posing as a fictional character named George Parry, using the profile name George123X, the image of a blonde man wearing glasses. So what Georgia used to do is this victim of hers, is having eye issue. So whenever she's with the victim, she will encourage the victim to remove the glasses. Right. Then the victim doesn't have a clear sense of vision. Whenever the victim wants to get intimate, she will come up with excuses as to why, she cannot be intimate with the victim. So the court said what she did was she had sexually assaulted the victim, and the prosecutor said the victim consented to sexual activities with George, not Georgia. Wow. So since there is no judge, she has been charged and found guilty for sexual, harassment and sexual, exploitation. So those are just few of the stories I want to share with you. In Rwanda, the president has done something that is unprecedented in our country. Paul Kagame has sacked over 260 military officers, including top-ranking generals as well. He has also changed the army chief and the defense minister in a total overhaul of the defense sector of that country. So those are just trending issues. As we go along, more stories will pop up from across Liberia as well.
Before I can also announce this other trending issue, I want us to go back to this bridge issue in Grand Bassa County.
Yeah.
But what has been the Public Works Ministry own information concerning this? Because I mean, we cannot sit here to allow things to escalate before we all start calling on the government to intervene. This is so troubling. And what's the need of the company that constructed that identical bridge? Because this is an integrity issue. If the government of Liberia went and give a company, a contract to construct a bridge, and whatever happens, the company must take full responsibility.
Chairman Barron,
yeah,
that bridge was constructed in the 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a yesterday bridge. It's a bridge that has been there for yesteryears.
Just rehabilitated.
Yes, it has been there for yesteryears. So my thing is, the Minister of Public Works did speak to the matter. She confirmed that one of the bearings beneath the bridge has got an issue, and they are working to make sure it's resolved. So what we've been told by Representative Matthew Fairplay Joe, what happened in Grand Bassa when the bridge situation was reported on Saturday, a local construction firm, an engineering firm that is a subcontractor to ArcelorMittal, did visit the bridge. They took the picture of the bearing, and they're looking to procure the bearing. If it's not in Liberia, which is the possibility is near 100% that it's not going to be in Liberia, then they are going to import the bearing and have it replaced. So it's all about maintenance and routine checks.
But Representative Matthew Joe, he's not the Public Works.
The Public Works Minister also spoke to the issue.
Okay.
There is a video of the Public Works Minister speaking to the issue. She's currently in the Southeast. I'm not a spokesperson, but I'm letting you know because I watched the video as well. She spoke to the issue. They are allowing trucks and other vehicles carrying essential commodities through to Grand Bassa County, because if the bridge, is reporting such damage,
wow,
people cannot be strangulated, people cannot starve. We don't have so much different means of transportation in Liberia to say, okay, we've got alternative means. The Buchanan port is there. You could take goods and services using a boat or a ferry to Buchanan as well. But how effective would that be? Citizens are suffering to cross. Some are now using waterways to cross, to get to and fro Grand Bassa County or Buchanan stretch there of Grand Bassa County and other parts adjacent. So the Public Works Minister has spoken. The bridge itself, there is a need, whether or not a new one can be constructed or that can be reinforced. The Ministry of Public Works and their engineers are going to come up with what would be the sustainable answer to that particular question. So she has spoken, just to let you know, and she has confirmed as well that the bridge, has incurred such a damage.
Well, barely 24 hours after his Streamex oil and gas company was reportedly...
Chairman Barron, I beg to interrupt
you. Okay, go ahead,
Since
please.
You talked about the army worm, update. So it's not only it's not only Bong. It's reported in Bapolu.
Okay.
Bapolu, Nimba, and Lofa as well. But the Ministry of Agriculture has confirmed so far Bong, Nimba, and Bapolu counties. So according to the press release, as you said, the Ministry of Agriculture has confirmed that this has been happening annually since 2009.
Yeah.
Their technicians did visit those affected areas, and there is a need to send extension officers to make sure that this doesn't spread further than it has already spread, to cause more damage. But we also got a report that Lofa County, let me get you the name of the town or the towns in Lofa County that are currently experiencing the outbreak as well. So let me just get you the names of the towns quickly that are experiencing an invasion of army worms. So let me get that for you quickly. Yeah, because on this show, and as we do on the Spoon Network, we have to give out credible
Yeah,
information.
credible information.
Millions of Liberians all around the world and in Liberia are waiting on us and depending on us for information. So when we're giving out the information, we should give out credible information. So the Ministry of Agriculture has confirmed that yes, indeed, Bong, Nimba, and Bapolu counties, towns in those counties are affected by the armyworm invasion. So what they are doing now is they are thinking about their technicians have informed them that they need to send out their extension team to go there and deal with the situation. So we can carry on. I'm looking for the name of the towns. And once I get that, I'll inject as we proceed. Baron.
Well, thank you very much for that identical update. And barely 24 hours after his Screamers oil and gas company was reportedly shut down by the LRA, Mr. Musa Hassan Bedete has said that he just, posted on Facebook that his company has resumed, normal operation. And so let me read what he just wrote or plays on the social media Facebook. He says, I read, when I decided to stand with ABC, what's the name? ABC is the political leader of the All Liberian, that's in the alternative CPB, Alternative National Congress, Mr. Zanabi Cummins. He said, when I decided to stand with ABC, I knew I was standing against people who would do anything to have power. You have started a war, you will lose. And he said, next trial, Screamers has resumed 4 operations. Next, unquote. Okay, so that's what Mr. Musa Hassan Bedeti just wrote on Facebook. So let me also read what is here. So let us see how far this identical case is going to end with Mr. Musa Hassan Bedete of the CPP. He just placed this information on the social media that Screamers has started 4 operation after it was been reported that his company was shut down by the government of Liberia. And I don't know. Yes, Damo. Okay, so let me go to this other information right here before we can join the rest of our panelists this evening on Spoon Talk. A civil society group under the banner He for She Crusade or Crusader Liberia has frowned at what it turned as a willful violation of child rights. Recent report of a 12-year-old girl getting married to a 57-year-old man in Liberia. Okay, that's another human interest story. So, folks, this is where we are. These are things that are happening in our country, trending issues in Liberia, from the breach in Grand Bassa County to Scremex. The CEO of that company, Mr. Musa Hassan Bedete, he took to social media and said it's a witch hunt because of his support to Mr. Edizana Cummins of the CPP / the ANC. So what we would do, probably we'll have to join Damon, or we go to the telephone lines to take a few calls before we can join the rest of our panelists on this program tonight. This is Spoon Talk. No matter where you are watching us, let me say welcome to this program. And yes, Damon.
Yes, Baron, I said I was going to get the names of the towns in Lofa County that are reportedly also affected by the armyworm invasion. So the towns are Bazewan town, and also Luyema. So Luyema.
Okay, Luyema. Yeah.
So Bazewan and Luyema towns in Zozo district. Those 2 towns are also affected by the armyworm invasion. Likewise in Nimba, Bapolu, and Bong counties. So I just thought to bring that information. So the Ministry of Agriculture has also confirmed the armyworm invasion in Bong, in Nimba, and in Bapolu, but they haven't yet confirmed as to present time the invasion in Lofa. Probably they are technicians, are also headed to Lofa to do their fact-finding mission as well, because this is about scientific, method. You have to go and investigate before you come up with a solution. That's that, Chairman Brown.
But I'm yet thinking
Mhm.
whether we have our country, our government, whether the government has this sophistication,
Mm.
to do fumigation or to fumigate, the forest. How are we going to battle this? Looking at the forestry area, like a bombing, the Bon County, those areas that you just named, how are they going to solve these identical problems? Yeah, just thinking. What if we have the experts?
So, looking at the press release from the Ministry of Agriculture, they've said that this has been happening since 2009, and they've been effectively responding as per their press release. And this is a natural phenomenon.
Okay.
It's a seasonal thing. So, whenever the rains are here, I've been on the radio, and I've received this story at least for a number of years now. Whenever the rains are here, it's a seasonal thing. It's a natural phenomenon. So all you need to do is to be ready, have the right preventive materials in stock, have the technicians, on ground, so that when it happens, you can go about. The state of the state of the most of the states in the United States that they experience fire outbreak, or they experience wildfires,
Yeah.
they know that when it's hot, there is a probability that they will experience wildfires. They can stop it, but what they do is they get prepared for it. So that's the same thing. So the Ministry of Agriculture have said they've been battling this since 2009, and means they have the technocrats as well. Yeah. So that's just that. As per their press release, though.
Okay, so a minute from now, Honorable Eugene Fagon will also join us on the Spoon Talk tonight. And he's
So
at the
before
back.
Minister Fagon joins the show, I want to say happy birthday to Edwina Bright. If James were to be on the show, he would have beaten me for this. Yeah, but I want to say happy birthday to Edwina Bright. She's an ardent follower from the Spoon Network. She's an ardent follower of Spoon Talk as well. Brittina Johnson, a good friend of mine. I also love to say happy birthday to you and to my own niece, Precious Kamara. Her birthday is today as well. So there you go. You can continue with your politics.
So until let us go to our live here to welcome some of our guests.
Sure.
And Nathaniel B. Sese, he's watching Spoon Talk tonight. And Wedon Boama, he said, we are back. Okay, welcome, Wedon. Yaya Kamara, welcome to Spoon Talk, the biggest program in the Republic of Liberia around the world. I have to say this with authority. Ebenezer Fale Talbot. Hello, everyone, on Spoon Talk tonight. Collie Rafina Smith. Good evening. Yaya Kamara, James Fala, Mary Catherine Doe, Chokon Joe is also watching from the GSA role. Waylon Boama is also watching. Nakita Wia Ramos is also watching Spoon Talk tonight. Justin Dennis, Collie Rafina, okay, also. J. Benedict Kolo Sonda is also watching from the UAE. Let me say welcome, Benedict. Tapos PK Dempster, Spoon TV CNN of Liberia is here to bring you all the breaking news. Yes, welcome, my dear brother. Wedon Boama is also watching Spoon Talk tonight. Matthew Q. Kwan King. Yes, Jeremiah Trust, is also watching Spoon Talk. Tapos PK Dempster is also watching. Let us go down, and I will take 5 or 6 more, people before I can turn it over to Damo. Hanan Moses is also watching. Regina C. Flomo Galawolokwe is also watching tonight. That's a Spoon Talk. Yaya Kamara. Okay, Damo, do you also have people?
Yeah, I'm just looking through the comment section. I want to say hello to Cyrus J. Williams Sr. is watching. Solomon King is also watching. Eric Apia Labez is watching as well. Eric T. Johnson, another Eric. We have Samuel Howard is watching. Moses Clona is watching us as well. Let me say hi to Coolest King God. Whoa. God Larson. You know, this are they kind of name and mayor people can find you on Facebook, you know.
So is this about say,
yeah.
my Mary son?
She's a lovely, beautiful daughter of Peters. Yeah. Let me say hi to Michael Sampson. Okay, it's also watching. The Duke from Grand Bassa County, Dikwa, Utaga, is also watching. Godfred Lamin Kadi is watching us as well. Malian B. Dan is also watching. Eric Dentor. Today we have a lot of Erics watching. Famata Gay is also watching. Ansu M. Tuarale is following us as well. Boniface D. Setu. Boniface is watching from Boys Town, Marsha. Teresa BK Sawi is watching us from Cardwell, as well as Chokon Joe is following us from GSA Road, Cola Tree, VV City. Augustine M. Masakwe is following us, as well as Watier Twe is following us. Andrew Gadier is watching us from Liberia. Stephen B. Tigley is watching us as well. Bookman's son, Jones Queen, is watching us from her little corner. Jalahu SB Sandy is also watching us as well. So Jalahu says if I pronounce his name, he's going to give me a prize, but I didn't see that prior to pronouncing his name, so I've said it twice for you, Jalahu. Jerome Roberts is watching. Deconti Murray SK is watching us from GSA Road. Jacob Saki Jr. is following us from Totota, Bon County. Camelia Scott is also watching us as well. So I'll just leave it at that, and we'd love to say welcome again to everybody watching. We cannot read out all of the comments, but at least we did what we could have done back. So you can go ahead.
Okay, so Minister Fagon, are you there? There you go.
So Magic, just help
Magic, can you please put Minister Fagon on?
So Minister Fagon on the show.
Okay. Minister Fagon.
I'm watching you, Damo.
Yeah, these are the Wekosu.
Minister Fagon, are you coming on?
Just leave me like that. No problem.
You are muted. You are muted.
I'm not muted. You're talking, I can't talk.
Check this.
Isn't that why you put me in the corner?
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
I come to you're in different studio, one in cruise control, the other one in spoon news.
Like your business.
You get tongue behind you, the other man get pitch.
Dama is here.
But who told you to send birthday greetings to a winner bride?
Damo.
Wow, is she indicted for not being sent birthday requests?
No. Dama, there are just certain towns when you go in. Ask who the chief then there. Don't just hear that you know chief. And now why you there? Now you don't spoil the whole thing. If I say I won't say a winner bride, birthday greeting, are you tell me?
But I didn't tell you anything though. My hands are up.
But why would tell you to announce it? Who gave you that authority?
Okay, I'll take it back.
Okay.
Take it back.
A birthday tree that I sent to you, though I said happy birthday to you, but I'm taking it back. Do enjoy your day though, but I'm taking it back.
So you taking it back? Is that to enjoy? So witchcraft picking in the studio. I gotta keep my eye on y'all. Because I sat down behind here for 30 minutes. You're two just talking about Zoglo. You know what I call Zoglo? You know, let me be frank with you.
I'm the one.
I have not seen the worms that you guys are talking about.
I can send the pictures.
And probably they will morph into caterpillars. But lest we forget that it's a dietary staple from Nimba that goes in the GB. You know about it, Chairman Brown?
Oh, yes.
And when I ate a Loma Posi, then they just running away instead of calling the Nima Posi, your cow, your issue here.
It whiz.
It whiz. You can't collect it. And then when the Nima Potu, when they see the grasshopper, then they call it Lofa Posi, you have to be here. That's how it's supposed to be. But anyway, I wasn't here for the briefing. I don't know what the situation is. I heard you guys talk about the breach.
Yes.
Thanks to Spoon, we talked about it last night. We made specific reference to ArcelorMittal jumping all over that breach. And they can't even go there to help. Thankfully, today they went there, they took a look. That's good. I heard the Public Works Minister say, no need for concern. If the bearing under the bridge is gone, and a truck with about 25 tons go over it, what will we have? Nah, we can't go that route. But I wasn't here, man. What you think trending, Baron?
Well, so today, the Senate Joint Committee on Lands, Mines, Natural Resources, and Environment, Labor and Concession paid a fact-finding mission to, what's the name of the area? The Western Cluster. In Bomi County, some senators, they were there today. They visited that area. And there were some journalists. Spoon TV was also there and covered the Spoon also covered that identical program. According to some of the senators who were there, they went in their wars to do a fact findings about all these water wars, the controversies over Western clusters in that identical county in Bomi County. So that's what happened today. And I know you've been following some of the trending issues concerning the Western cluster deal, the water wars. So that's what happened today, Minister Fagon.
So again, you said a tour, but you didn't give us the purpose for the tour.
Yeah, the controversies, how iron ore live in the country, iron ore live in the country, what are the information that you bad labor practices, what are the company paying the people there. So that's why the senators went there today. Some of the senators, according to our reporters who were there, because we had a reporter who went there today. Aaron, he did a fantastic job. He was there and he covered our scene.
Do you have a list of who were some of the senators?
According to Aaron,
one thing we could do,
we
could get people call into the program. We could get Kuben on the line to give us a short report, 3 minutes at least, to tell us what he saw there, what happened there, and if you can do that quickly, that your man. You just call him, you plug it in, say, Kuben, tell us what happened out there.
I'm on the red now.
Lamin would like to welcome Councillor Lamin Pagoy, and I'd like to welcome the former CEO, Stanton A. Witherspoon. He just got a haircut. I don't see why Sabu hair people can go call hair. I don't even understand. You got Sabu hair already, then you go call your hair. Eh? Brian, you get boy hair, I already know.
Yeah, I get boy hair.
So when you get Sabu, you shouldn't call your hair?
But what do you mean of Sabu? It mean no hair.
So, but it gave you patchy. So you don't want to be patchy?
I see why you're looking like that. You two don't go there. Well, if anybody think they will see me to Barber Shop, they can lead that story.
What do you do with your hair? So what do you
I've been cutting my own hair for 20 years.
Huh?
I've been cutting my own hair for over 20 years.
I do the same thing too. Because I'm not cutting stars. So what do you use on me going to barber shop?
What they use? if I feel like, and look at he lay your hair so lay, now grease shining over there, my friend. I mean, they're eating your money for nothing. Grease.
No, but I
mean, you gotta keep. I'm looking fresh, right?
No, he said you don't have hair, but you look like you got hair. Maybe you don't just grow your hair like your mom.
No, it's bald face. That's all. Just trim it.
I don't want to tell you. Many men were talking in Power Shop. Why you doing in Power Shop? That free money, that's how you get your boy shining like that off on the side.
So
you carry
the barbers should actually allow Sabu people to get free cut.
You know that the poor who hair hard to cut because
let me ask a question though. What's really going on, Fagon?
Where?
I'm looking through my window, right? Like me. It's very cloudy and smoky. You can smell the smoke. I don't know if you are watching from New Jersey, New York, maybe the New England side, or Delaware, Maryland, Washington D.C. Something strange is happening. Fagon. They're saying that the smoke coming from is from Canada, but it's very thick. I hope it's not Judgment Day coming though.
No, maybe something burning.
You will be the first to go.
So you should probably keep your windows closed.
No, we are wearing face masks right now. Nobody said stay away from out there and just but it's crazy. It's smelling so bad.
The funny thing about I go call it man say, Fagon, you don't understand. That's why we used to run through the cassava farm. We stay roasting our tin. We roasting our groundhog.
Smoke.
But
it's kind of different.
That different smoke. I told you, the one that chemical smoke.
And listen, and we are smelling the chemical. I'm dead serious. And I hope tell the children to just stay indoor. We have to say this. Pennsylvania, I mean, there was a delay. New York delayed. Newark, every airport right now around here, they have a serious delay. But we just need to tell everyone, please, the young children, the old people, let them stay indoor. It's very, very important. We have to say it. The smoke is scary. If you can pray, start praying to God to forgive your sin. Maybe that Judgment Day coming, or maybe that Leo Napoleon from Canada caused this fire. And I'm hearing maybe it's Leo. But again, this thing is serious. Stay home. Put your face mask on. You don't know what's happening. It's very, very serious. You want me to put the camera outside? I'm saying I'm going to stay indoor. You want me to go outside to show you the weather? I mean, you ready? Yeah? But yeah, you mind? You say, CEO, put the camera outside. I'm putting no camera outside. Just stay indoor, man. We're going to open the phone line shortly. We want to hear from you. If you are in Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Washington, D.C., just tell us what is happening at your end. This is about America. This is about Liberians here. If you are okay, we're just asking you, let us know what's happening. It's a serious fire situation happening from Canada, and the wind is bringing the smoke on this end of the country. So we just need to ready just talk about it briefly. If I go, the next thing that on my mind, I'd like to say, surprisingly today, Mike Pence declared that he's running to be president, and his boss, Councilor Lamin Kpakpa man, no, Mo Ali friend, Donald Trump, also running to be president. So I'm kind of like, Fagon, just real quick, let's talk internationally. Tell us something real quick. Help our people. What do you think these guys and Chris Christie, Mike Pence, Ron DeSantis from Florida, but Donald Trump is stopping with 54% of the vote right now? Why do you think the people moving towards Donald Trump with everything this guy have on his head? Real quick, let's talk international. I know Councilor Lamin Kpakpa love the international news. Well, let's just chip into it while you get your guys ready.
Well, for me, what I see is that Trump had a slip with the management of COVID. You and I know that. He went alongside the Republican ideals when it comes to cutting costs, saving monies, reducing government, and he didn't pay attention to the experts. Those of us who schooled in this country and know very well, the Republicans are not into the too much scientific issue and this whole policy of global solutions. So you see what they do with climate change. And that same sort of attitude was taking over to the COVID-19 pandemic. And what's his name? The little old man.
Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, Dr.
Fauci.
Yeah, Fauci. Dr. Fauci will say this and Trump will say that, and it was very costly, over 1 million lives. And so his popularity shrunk. Other than that, the way he was handling the situation globally and economically, many Americans thought he did well because it was all about the American interests, not Liberia, not Ukraine, not any, just America. And again, we are looking at world politics. And amongst Republicans, or if you like, conservatives, they think he deserves a second chance. So unless something dramatic happens, he's not going to drop in the polls. Now you got Chris Christie, you got the other guy, Haggard or something. You also got Pence, you got DeSantis, all these people. But Trump, by American electoral history, has got the experience. He has been there, done that. So from a conservative standpoint, the preference is tilting towards him. And if nothing happens legally to prevent him, he will become the nominee, in my opinion.
So you know, Councillor, I think you follow the news religiously because you are all the time talking about Fox News and other media outlets here. Today, we also learned that the CEO for CNN have been removed and they replaced him with another lady. But let's just come back to this thing. And I want you to tell us how this helped our country's situation today, since we are working towards election, Councillor.
So talking about the Republican,
Yes.
Republican field.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't think right now. I don't think the U.S. election has any real impact on our elections. Is more. It will have more of an impact on the Ukrainian war, depending on who wins. Especially if Trump wins, it may have a seismic impact on that war as opposed to any other foreign policy issue in the world. Probably maybe a little bit about Iran also, and the Saudi-Iranian relationship that is touring presently. It may have some impact on that. But when it comes closer to whom, I doubt it will have any direct impact. The situation in our country will continue being controlled by the embassy in Liberia, to some extent the State Department desk that is responsible for West Africa, and individual Congress members. But let's go back to the Republican Party. Mr. Trump obviously is ahead. He's going to win the nomination if he doesn't get indicted. And the reason why you see all those people jumping in the race right now, the Christies, the Pences, and all those people jumping in the race, they are hoping that Mr. Trump gets indicted and he cannot run. So as a result, the fallout from that benefits them. And that's the reason why you see all of them tipping to around directly attacking him for the time being. Even DeSantis is finding it difficult to attack him because they are hoping that when he leaves the stage because of legal problems that seem to be mounting all over the place, then they will benefit from the fallout. So I don't think the elections in America are going to have any direct impact on what happens here. We are not a real significant player on the world stage presently. It's been a long time since we're any significant player on the world stage. So international elections will have very little to do with what happened here. Whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, the way you govern locally will determine how they will interact with you. You know, people argue all the time that Mr. Weah has not been invited to the White House, for example. I mean, it all has to do with how they think you are governing. You know, your governance of your country will determine how they interact with you. It has really nothing to do with. I mean, we are not of strategic interest in my own thinking. We are not of strategic interest to the United States. You know, I spent a little time in Washington D.C. when I was with the National Endowment for Democracy. I was a research scholar at the National Endowment for Democracy, and I mean, at the NED, you interact with plenty different people. You know, I had interactions with like the former U.S. ambassador to Nigeria in South Africa. You know, those are two very important diplomatic posts on the African continent. If somebody is ambassador to Nigeria at one point, and then that same person is also ambassador to South Africa, that person is now a small person in the Washington D.C. cycle. So I mean, I had conversations with him at the time I was there about Liberia, you know, just to gauge the thinking about the country, and I wasn't really. I mean, at the time I
So
was necessary.
my thing is that but by the way though, I think we're waiting for the guy from Centel. So if you can
And if
just
he's going to come on, whenever we want for him to
y-
come on, he will come on.
but how is he coming on?
I
Did
sent
you
him the
send him the link?
yeah.
Okay. All right. So Mo, are you with us? Mo just went off. So again, where is Gibson? Is he here tonight?
He probably will come on later on.
All right, and how you call him, Fadika, Dr. Richardson will be joining us later on also. Fagon, I know this is your show, but it's very important, man. The people saying they want to call to tell us about their state concerning the smoke. My take on Donald Trump, it is why it is. I think the folks love Donald Trump. Uh, but again, as an independent uh, from Liberia, here in America, I have no fish to fry, and we just let it be. But
So if you are
it's
voting,
still
Oh,
it's
tell
still
you
a lot of
independent.
you,
Even
let
a
me
fool,
just ask
you
this question.
independent.
it's
If all of you were voting, who will you vote for?
where in America.
US, yeah.
Yeah, if I had the chance to vote in America, I would not vote.
But why?
Oh, because my attention is back home more than here in America.
Even in local elections? Because
Nah,
election in
nah.
America is a lot local.
Yesterday
So
they had the local primary where people trying to get into the council seat, the mayor seat, and whatsoever. But
so
I
even that
didn't.
doesn't interest you.
Nah, nah. I mean,
Wow.
this people system here is very unique. I just believe that we should focus, our attention to Liberia and do that which is right. The people have the system. Uh, the governor, the president, they are just there, but the people have the system. See what
Yeah,
happened to Donald Trump. So,
I noticed, when I was in San Diego at one point and I did some work for a newspaper there called The Voice of San Diego. So at the time, the mayoral elections were ongoing, and a congressman left Congress and went back to San Diego to run to be mayor. And at that time, I kind of really understood how American politics is. It's kind of more local than it is,
it
you know,
is.
national
It
level.
is local. Where we are because election around the corner. The state just gave the city 1.4 million others to go back and do their parks and recreate, and that's when the city gonna get money. People gonna be interested. Things will be happening, and it is why it is. But the people have the budget, they have the money, they have the system. Let's just talk about Liberia a little bit now while we move. Uh, I don't know whether we have him Mo Ali or you just left. Let me ask you, Fagon. You had your podcast today. You touch on different things, man. And I hope that Diamond get it ready, that we can show some of the things that you talk about. You went so hard. Edwin Snow, you brought about his home and other individuals. Why, Fagon? Why you think it's relevant to the election now? Why you think it is so relevant and people need to know about Edwin Snow home?
Well, first and foremost, let's start with Bility.
Okay.
You did not want us to talk about Bility last night. But in 2013, Bility was accused of the same thing. And he came back and said, I only owe 165,000. It was in the New Democrat. The date is there, the paper is there, the volume, everything is there. 10 years later down the road, you are even bigger than who you are, fatter than who you were, rather, bigger than who you were, now have got more money than ever before. You brag of buying 250 pickup trucks, building a party headquarters, financing political parties and candidates, and you cannot pay our money. But you beat your chest like a champion. And if you were owing 165 then, How much do you owe today? Have you been paying since 2013? But yet, you show us a picture of your home, not the one in Monrovia, but the one in Saclay, that you say you are moving in early next year and that it is nearing completion. All these things you brag about, but you have 5.9 million road fund, and according to you, you only owe 165,000. Only for us to go deep behind you, you said the same damn thing in 2013, and it's 10 years now. So why are you bragging about your 250 pickup trucks and your houses and your headquarters and your wealth? Come to Edwin Snow. You have put up your house 3 days in a row.
No, can you pause before you come to Edwin Snow? Let's settle this ability thing. And I think Fagon, I want you to give Councilor Lamine the chance to weigh in on it while we wait for the guys from Centerra. Councilor Lamine, though, so that's Fagon's argument. But I'm not, maybe I'm wrong, and to each his own. I want that connection, Councilor. Is there any connect?
Between what and what?
Between the Musa ability showing his home, that of the 5.9 million from road fund, what he owes LRA. Are you seeing the connection? Is there any connect as to why you think this guy should?
I think you should say one of his homes, particularly
one of
the
his
one
homes.
in
the one that he posted. Yeah, and then also let's talk about the relationship that have to do with the election. Talking about the pickup trucks and things.
So the link between his personal wealth and monies that he owed the government. That's the issue.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, when you have a situation where someone is accused of financial malpractices, and then that person is flaunting wealth at the same time, it's not difficult to try to make a link between the two. You know, it's easier to try to make that link. But again, we have to be able to look at this situation in a way that does not make us to speculate unnecessarily. Okay, one, we have to take into consideration the issue of corporate debt, right? A corporation is required to withhold a certain amount of money for government, with respect to the road fund, with respect to the sale of gasoline and other petroleum products. And on the other hand, the corporation is also under obligation to pay corporate taxes and income taxes to the government. If the corporation fails to do those two things, ultimately there's a human being there that will be held responsible. But how much of that money that human being converted to his or her own personal use is something that we do not know when it comes to this particular situation. So it's easy to assume that if Mr. Ability has taken money that belongs to the government and all of us, technically speaking, belonging to all of us, and then he's flaunting wealth on the other side, it's easy to try to make the link between the two. That this guy cannot have this kind of excess money to buy political party vehicles, to build a fabulous home, and to live a flashy life if it is not directly linked to this nefarious activity that he's involved with. But for me, I kind of hesitate to be too political when it comes to these kind of things. To already accuse somebody of thievery if I do not have evidence that the person is a thief, or direct evidence that the person is a thief. I'm kind of really reticent in doing that, because our words can come back to haunt us. You said something today that you're not sure of, you don't have 100% evidence on, or even 90% evidence on, and you go on spewing it.
When so let me ask you. Let me ask you a question, Fagon. Not Fagon. I beg you, because it's
that's the correction I wanted to make, because it's not an allegation.
You real quick. Go ahead, Fagon.
I owe 100. It's not allegation again.
165,000.
Thank you very much. And he hold on a minute.
Hold on, Councilor. Hold on.
He said the same thing in 2013. The record will show. So you are buying 250 cars. In 2017, we have the video. You build a party headquarters You just in finishing your house in Saclay-Pied. In 2013, he has it. He will show it to you right now. Then last night, while we're on the show, Jeru said he heard you. And then we played a clip. You say yes. What is 165 for me?
So,
we're not
Fagon,
accusing him.
Fagon, let me come from somewhere here. Becky, I won't go back to Lamin
We're not
because
accusing him.
Mo Ali and Gibson got to come in on this one. Consider, this is where I'm coming from, though. And forgive me, folks, please. Don't kill the messenger. Can we position Musa Bility to say that he stole the money? Can we say that Musa Bility stole the road fund, stole the taxes? Can we say that openly? Or you think it's just politics? You have 30 seconds. We got to move on, please.
Stand on. I'm a lawyer. If I'm talking as a politician, I would say someone stole something. Stealing is a specific intent crime. When I'm speaking about these things and I try to be nuanced about it, I'm speaking from the standpoint of a lawyer. It's necessary when something go wrong, it doesn't necessarily mean our crime has happened. If you say somebody stole, you definitely saying the person committed a crime and he intended to commit the crime. The fact that I do not have all the facts at my fingertips, I cannot be the one to categorically say that. Let the politicians, the guys who are politicians,
so then let's move on.
Make the kind of category.
You are quite correct in making your point. Mo Ali, let me bring you on, and I don't know where Fagon went to, but let me bring you on, Mo. It's important to say what you want to say about Musa Bility. Let's just adjust ourselves for a minute, and please take out your political hat. Can you accuse Musa of stealing any money? Have he stolen from the government, from the Liberian people? Can we set the record straight? I know he said he owed. I know the government said he didn't pay taxes. I know we can talk about a road fund, but can we say Musa Bility stole or down? Mo Ali.
All right. So first, just 5 seconds. I'd like to say, I would like to see Donald Trump back in the American presidency. That said, I spoke with a lawyer today, and we talk about owing taxes and evading tax payment. If you just owe someone, I don't think it is stealing. I don't think you've committed any crime by owing someone. I can credit from you. And many a times we see it with businesses. Sometimes their taxes are billed and they don't have the money to pay yet, or they have not paid for some other reason. And so government just go after them to pay the taxes or to pay that debt. When you evade tax, that one is stealing. It's a criminal case, according to what the lawyer told me today.
It is.
And there are many other ways people can evade taxes. For example, those who bring in petroleum products, for example, when they come, they cook in order to evade the actual amount of tax that they are supposed to pay. They could under-declare. So maybe you brought in 1 million gallons. Then you told the government that we brought in 800,000 gallons. So you'll be paying taxes on 800,000 gallons and not 1 million gallons. So the 200,000 there, you're not paying taxes on there. You're not paying road funds on there. When you do that, that is criminal. So we need to find out.
Can I hold you more? I need to hold you more. I beg you. You set a good example. That is criminal on which end? Isn't it the government responsibility to get it from you? Are you telling me that I'm not here to defend Musa though, and I stand to be corrected? Are you, Mo Ali, telling me that the government, knowing very well if it is true that Musa Bility have invaded, he said I'm not paying taxes or he dodging, and they will just sit there for 5 years, and you're going to consider that he stole from the government?
So that's what I'm saying. If you evade taxes, and I just gave one example, you could under-declare. You bring in 1 million gallons, and you declare 800,000 gallons. Now, how they know what the lawyer was telling me, who also has idea in the finance area, they get to know when they do the auditing. So they go, they audit. Okay, you say you brought in 1 million gallons the whole of last year, but the auditing showed that you actually sold I mean, you brought in 800,000 gallons, but the other thing shows that you actually sold 1 million gallons. So where you got the extra 200,000 gallons from, how you got it. And then they go backward now, they do a backward trend on the investigation, and it lends them to, okay, you, Mo Ali, you brought in 1 million gallons, you declared 800,000 gallons, you owe tax, you have evaded taxes on 200,000 gallons. And not only taxes, but you evaded road.
So that's your argument. That's your argument.
So
that
okay. One is stealing. But when you just owe, I would not say stealing. But when you evade taxes, and that's stealing.
Okay, let me go back to Fagon before I get to Gibson.
They said they locked the place down for tax evasion. They didn't say because you owe taxes. Because there are many businesses here. Sometimes most of the businesses here owe taxes.
Sometimes there's a lot of things. So
and then they make payment.
So I think we understand your point of view. Let me bring in Minister Fagon, and then we'll go to Gibson. So Minister Fagon, you heard from Lamine, Mo Ali giving a very, very decent point here. Talk to us. Evading taxes is stealing. Not paying the road fund is stealing. Which is which? Because your show was very direct before we even get to Edwin Snow today. I want to give you the chance now. You have your time. Then we'll bring in Gibson. You unmute him, sir.
First of all, let's be clear. And these words represent me. Musa Belete is a criminal. He was convicted, so I don't have to say, he can't carry me to court and say this man called me a criminal. He was slapped for being a criminal, and he was sentenced to a 10-year ban and all the other things associated with it. So it is within my legal purview to refer to him as a criminal. That's one.
He was convicted where? He was convicted where? Under Liberian law, or are you talking about the FIFA?
It don't matter whether international law.
I just want our audience to understand. Where FIFA
doesn't have the ability to convict somebody criminally, so you'd be wrong to say you were convicted.
Listen, that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking.
You say FIFA does not have the ability. He was convicted of stealing. Take the law degree.
Consider, hold on, Councilor, hold on. You will come in. Let the minister go ahead.
He was not found guilty by the FIFA court for going to the hospital and making a donation. He was found guilty for stealing money. He stole it. They didn't give it to him. So let's be clear. And give me a chance. Let me answer this question because you answer it. Now, you all want to beat around the bush. You said tax evasion is criminal, which is 100% accurate. And if the government said he was shut down for tax evasion, it doesn't mean he's guilty, but that's a criminal offense. But here is why I say, the question here to me is, would you say Musa Belete stole? Yes, Stanton, and here is why. There was 30 cents placed on a gallon of gasoline by the government to go towards our road fund. It had nothing to do with Belete profit. It had nothing to do with his product or his business. Understand that. It was not his money. Understand that. That is even different from the taxes. Understand that. Now, the 30 cents is what Musa Belete stole from the Liberian people. And what did he do? He entered an agreement with the representative of the Liberian people and say, okay, I will pay it. It's 5.9. The fact that you have admitted and that you agree to pay an amount that was not yours, it was not an ordinary taxes on the product. It was a tax on the Liberian people that you should have collected and given to the government. You have stolen. That's why he's paying it back. Secondly, the road fund is different from government collected taxes. Let's understand that. Why are you owing $165,000 since 2013? What have you paid in the last 10 years? Have you been paying your taxes? They are closing you down now for evading taxes. But 10 years ago, you did the same. My friend, taxes are levied by governments on products or goods and services. And the taxes are to be collected. And so if you are stealing it and building houses and cars, you are a common criminal. And I'm challenging you
we'll get back to you.
To a debate.
Let me bring in Gibson. Gibson, welcome to the show. The same question. Talk to us.
First of all, I think Fagon is in the right lane. I may beat on Fagon for other things, but this one, I will agree with him. What is stealing? Stealing has different languages in the legal balance, in the legal world. It can be embezzlement. It can be misapplication of entrusted property. For example, the 30% or 30 cents per sale tax for the road tax was entrusted to Mr. Ability. He was not supposed to use it. That is misapplication of entrusted property. That's what we call stealing at the elite level.
Gibson, just to interrupt you 1 second. It is the same misapplication of entrusted property, entrusted funds, for which the court found Brownie Samuka guilty, and he did not become senator of Lofa County.
Thank you.
So to even talk about this more, if you do, I'm not a lawyer, but if you ask Lami will have the knowledge on tax evasion, which is an illegal non-payment of taxes. So usually people either declare less or declare none. So if you tell the government you didn't get taxes when you have taxes, you lie on your taxes, you decided to defraud the government. Defraudment is another language, is another parlance for stealing. Defraudment. You defraud the government, you stole the government money, you stole taxes. You misapply entrusted property, they give it to you to keep it. You are supposed to turn it over at the time they want it. No, you didn't do that. It stayed with you. You use it for your own self. You build your business. You did other things with the money. They didn't tell you to do that. That's misapplication of entrusted property. In that case, Ability stole money.
So let me ask you a question, Gibson.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Are you putting this on Ability, or are you putting this on the government?
Well, there's a part of the government that we have to look at very closely. First of all, Ability stole money. Second of all, the government failed to go after the rogue that stole their money for 5 years. So it is the government negligent for not going after the man who they say had the money. So you waited 5 years. The man took the money, he should have given it back to you. He should have given it back to you for a project, for a road project. He didn't do that. He used it for himself.
Then let me, you from the opposition to CPP, representing Tewan Gonglo. You say Gonglo Global Media. You've been in the business of Liberia. If you call him Ability, say he stole money, something I won't do, because I think that what a FIFA can convey, that's another question.
No, that's
because
that's,
I don't
that's
know Labik Pakor would speak on that. But I want to ask you though, are you now moving if you shift it in that direction, what becomes of Mr. Cummings and the CPP? Should they still wind and down with Ability?
Well, first of all, what Mr. Fagon said about conviction, I don't believe it's from conviction. In the civil law, we don't say conviction, we say liability. You are liable. So whatever that happened between Ability and the FIFA, Ability was liable for taking certain amount of money or for misusing certain amount of money. So conviction will come as a criminal offense. And I think the lawyer here will agree with me on that. But yes, you talk about CPP and Cummings. This is where I have a little problem when Cummings does not do anything to clear his part of the, clear his name. Because he has to insist on Ability. Ability claims that he has paid these amount of monies. He has to insist to Ability to make that clarification in the public. Otherwise, the excess baggage that is coming with Ability will have a political impact on his presidential bid. And that is what it's easy for the Liberian people to think. Oh, yeah, the man will be president. Ability not pay taxes for 5 years. when he became president, I think Belete will not even pay tax to government.
So let's just
And-
so I beg you. I want to bring in, and I know I would just skip a councillor for a bit because I want to hear Mo Ali. Then we'll go to the councillor. Mo Ali, knowing everything we know, the FIFA story about Belete, going down to locking up Belete company, locking it down yesterday. Belete declaring that 165,000. If I'm gonna say no, that's a mistake. You've been owing this thing since 2017. You still owing this money you never pay with interest.
2013, please. 2013.
2013. Thank you. With interest, but you have not paid. Now, if you are Mr. Cummings, you want to be president, though. These reports coming up. Put yourself in that Cummings position right now. I know you're opposition to Mr. Cummings, but let Liberians hear you tonight. Knowing very well that this man carried that baggage, knowing very well he didn't pay the 165,000 roll fund, everybody beating on him. You think Cummings should distance himself? Talk to us about the Cummings mindset. You're muted. You're muted, my brother.
Okay, so I was saying, sitting in my political seat and putting myself in Cummings' position, it is a very difficult thing to do. And here is the reason why. Mr. Cummings has struggled for support on the Liberian political landscape. He has even struggled more for support of people who have some degree of political weight. And for somebody who is struggling to get members, to get people to support him, it's going to be an extremely difficult decision for him to tell Mr. Belete to step aside, especially to the point where they have a defense. They will be able to say, you know, Mr. Belete has done no wrong, given the fact that he has not been carried to court, and the court, no court has found him guilty or any of the local charges. You know, the roll funds, the tax evasion, and all those kind of things. So just the fact that they have a defense is going to be extremely difficult for Mr. Cummings to push him aside. Because Mr. Cummings needs Musa Belete, then Musa Belete needs Mr. Cummings.
But I'm not asking you, and I'm not saying that you should tell Mr. Cummings to push it aside. But what's the liability effect here?
Akami, to the point, to the extent that Mr.
Mo Ali,
Cummings
let me give you something to chew on. Mo Ali, let me give you something to chew on. It says, if Mr. Cummings distances himself, he's done. If he doesn't distance himself, he's also done. So it's catch-22 situation.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now, but to the extent that Mr. Cummings has said to the Liberian people that he wants to change, he said he is the real change. And everybody talks about change and they want to set example. I believe if he wants to set an example to show to the Liberian people that I am the real change, he needs to tell Mr. Belete, look, these are too much burden for me. Because instead of Mr. Cummings now propagating his message and campaigning, everywhere he goes, he will have to be defending Mr. Belete, to be honest with you. And it happens to every one of us in the political arena. He may have to defend Belete more than selling himself, and he doesn't have the support.
Thank you. I want to bring in, I'm sorry, Mo. I'm sorry, because the people are asking. I want to bring in Councillor, and before I do that, I will finish up with Fagon. We'll go to the phone line and ask Liberians what they think of this Belete Cummings relationship. Now hearing everything and knowing everything, what their advice to Mr. Cummings. Councillor, please. I know we get Ellis.
Before Councillor Kami, can you put the newspaper up?
I will. When I bring you on, I will. You're going to take us to the phone line. Councillor, please.
So we have to stop being too partisan about these things. Mr. Belete, according to all the information available, or at least the information we have available, there is something sketchy about what happened around two different sets of money. The tax that he should be paying to the government for his company's operation, and the money that was withheld for the road fund project. Those are sketchy. Whether Mr. Belete is liable for stealing money or whether it is his company, is a corporate situation, those are different issues. I have said on this show over and over, our focus has to be on the CDC government. We have to demand that the CDC government should get that money back from Mr. Ability. If it is not an issue of theft, if it's basically an issue of withholding money and not paying it, if it's not tax evasion, they should get him to pay the money back, provided that the statute of limitation hasn't kicked in yet. Because if they say some of the money go back 5 years, then some of it may be statute bar. But we should focus on the government. The government seems to have reneged on this responsibility. We should be asking ourselves, why do you think the CDC people struggling to pay civil servants will have someone owing $4 to $5 million and they can go after that person aggressively to get that money back? We should be asking ourselves, what happened? What's the problem in there? Our focus should be on them. They
Yeah, but Councillor, we hear all that. We Councillor, let me ask you.
Duty. The government
Councillor Paco, allow me to ask you a question.
Yeah.
I hear what you say, but we are in a political season. We cannot separate politics from this story. You know that very well. Everybody will have a piece of the pie when it comes to this issue. Let me ask you, if you have Tewon Gonglo hanging out with Musa Ability, what would be your advice to Tewon Gonglo right now?
Tewon Gonglo will not hang out with anybody who has a sketchy character. He won't. Because
okay then. Okay, if you gave your answer like this, if no, Councillor, hold on now. Councillor, hold on.
Yeah.
If you give your answer like this, that Tewon will not hang out with anyone with sketchy character, then I must ask you, my brother, what would be your advice to Mr. Cummings that he hanging out with Mr. Ability in all this thing?
I said it on the show last night. Mr. Ability is not running for president, right? It's Mr. Cummings that is running for president. And Mr. Ability allegedly supports Mr. Cummings. If Mr. Ability really wants to see Mr. Cummings to be successful, what he will do is he will fall on his sword. He will fall on his sword. He will step aside. And I made an example in 2004, 2005. In the Liberty Party, we had a similar situation. And the person voluntarily stepped aside because they did not want to become a distraction to the campaign.
So you just answer it. You say Mr. Ability should step aside. I think it's fair.
It should be his decision to do.
But now I brought you back. I brought you back to answer the question. Thank you very much. Let me bring you Fagon. We really need to ask the Liberian people. It is important. This Ability and this common relationship with everything that hanging over Ability, they need to understand. Must come and speak. Why come and stay hanging out with Ability? Why see people stay canvassing their relationship with Ability in such a way that Ability actually say what you want to say, chairman of CPP, stay calling the shot. Does it matter to them, or they just don't care?
I don't understand, my friend and dear brother Lami. How do you demand a government that is using Ability as a political agent to go after their political agent? You come up, you say we cannot, we're having two separate amounts here. This man has admitted to both. You have the video in the chat room, Spoon Talk. Why you can't play it?
But what's the video called? What's the name of the video? You
said we have last the video. Night. We played it.
Okay, hold on 1 minute.
This man has admitted to both.
$165,000. That way you can bring Musa Ability away. That way you can break MHP way. Go find somebody else to break with $165,000. Not me. You went all over. You're loud. Oh, Musa Ability, oh, 5 million. The records are there. I dare anybody to come stand in front of me. About 9 companies in Liberia were owing road fund to the tune of almost $30 million. My company was owing $4 million. And I paid all except for $400,000 and some change. The records are there. Anything you do, you go bring your man's cell phone upgrade, your partner upgrade, and your business.
To the last point, Fagon, and you will add this to your conversation right now. So who's saying the truth? He said he paid all. But the people for LRA and the road fund said, no, you didn't. Talk to us.
He owed 5.9, but in this video, he said he was owing 4 million. He paid all except for 400,000. So he's admitted. Lami, I hope you heard it. He's admitted. He said 4 million, I pay all except for 400,000. That's an admission. Then he came back, he said 165,000. Eh? Now, oh, now why you can't hold me for? But again, it's an admission. What do you need? Now, what I want you to do, Stanton, is put up the newspaper, the New Democrat, from June of 2013. Why should we hold it back? Let's show it. And then I can give you my answer.
Hold on 1 minute. The newspaper.
Why are we playing around? If it comes to the airport saga, penalty. The Nima Lane fiasco, penalty. FIFA money, penalty. Raw fund, penalty. 165,000 tax evasion, penalty. Since 10 years ago. Why you keep asking that we should go after the government? I worked for the government for 3.5 years. I know Mr. Billity is a double agent, a double political agent. I know that Mr. Billity works for the government because I dealt with Mr. Billity. The money that got missing for the few from LEC that will be investigated in the new government, Billity was tied to it. That's what caused John to resign from LEC, because that money was given to Billity, but it was fishy. It was never used for fuel. So, my friend, the reason why your question, to answer it, why you look for the newspaper, is right in there. To answer your question, Cummings came with Ma Ellie in 2007. It is now well established that Cummings worked with Ma Ellie. It is now well established that Clarence Moneyba worked with Ma Ellie. It is now established that Charlene, Billity, Josh Wisner, they all work. Bezonga, they all work with Ellen up to this point. They are members of the Ellen faction, and they support the CDC. And that's why when they supported us in 2017, we thought they just came as friends. But there was a power sharing that kept almost all the ministers in government. And that is where we are today. And that is why we're voting for the real change. So if you talk about Billity, put a picture of Billity and Cummings driving together. They are not new bodies. This money is from all the way back.
What are you asking Cummings to do? We understand now. What are you asking Cummings? If you have the chance to advise Cummings tonight, the people are about to speak to Mr. Cummings. Now we understand that Billity owe FIFA. Now we understand that Billity owe on the road front. Now we understand that Billity owe on everything plus more, on how you call it.
Then now we understand that Billity is on nail.
Now we understand that Billity say I owe and I will pay, but I alone I didn't owe. You know, I didn't take the money alone. You have other 9 companies. Now, Fagon, freely advise Mr. Cummings to do what?
I like what you said, freely advise Mr. Cummings. I will say to Mr. Cummings, what did your mother tell you? Anything that is not yours and you take it, what is that? He will say stealing. I will lay the scenario to him. And then I will tell him, you came here as Mr. Clean Hands. Now we found out you've been here since 2007. We see all your own hand, but we can't catch it in the cookies jar. All the people around you that have shady characters, you either let go them or you let go your political ambition, which is, as far as I'm concerned, is at a standstill. Even Gonglo now is passing you in the poops. Why? Because people see Gonglo now as far more genuine and honest than you.
People has always been genuine and honest.
Why you there? I'm not pressing you here, man. Don't give me hard time.
We're not asking you for praises.
But let me finish, man. Cancel.
The thing about it is,
in the meantime, we'll say thank you for saying that. You know,
we see Jeru behind.
At least once in a while, he made it true.
You had the thing that look at Billity face. You had the money there. The debt is there since 2013. And since 2013, Last night you boast of 165. What about the one you owe now? And then Cummings driving you around in car when y'all took that 5.9 million.
So let's go back to Cummings.
During
Your advice to Mr. Cummings now. We understand he from Jade, he from 207. He hanging out with Benedict, he hanging out with the rest of them. Now it's election, 4 months to go. Seeing everything we know about Benedict now, tax evasion, everything we know about Benedict, roll for money that he cannot pay back, everything we know about Benedict, FIFA convention, everything plus more. Benedict is bragging. I'm hanging out with Cummings. Cummings is my boy. We're doing the best that we can do to win an election. Should Cummings now trust Benedict to ride and die? I mean, I see you.
I'm saying to you, Benedict been finished with Cummings long time. Now you ain't know, but I know. And all I can say, as long as Benedict remains chairman, it will not be CPP. Listen to it. It will not be CPP. That party, that Tiffy party. And that name will stick on that party as Tiffy party, not CPP party. It's not going to work. And it's not going anywhere.
I know folks will be flipping real quick. Let me bring in Mo Ali and I will hear from the Gunglo guys because it's important to hear from the Gunglo man. Again, folks, Dr. Richardson is coming on. She's running late. We'll be having a program also discussing Jeremiah Coon Hospital. We'll call the guys from Santana. We'll also go to the phone line. Your free advice to Mr. Cummings. Should he hang out with Benedict knowing everything he know now, or should he cut him loose? I want to hear from the Liberian people. You are on, listen, turn to Super FM, Super TV, Spoon FM, Spoon TV, Fabric FM, Fabric TV.
When you calling the stations, they call it the frequency.
Okay, I will ask Damo, can you please put the frequency there? It's Spoon 107.5, Super 95.5, and Fabric something. So go ahead, Moadi.
101.1 Fabric.
Fabric 101.1. Thank you very much. You own Fabric. You own the station, so you know. But Moadi, though, we're going to the phone line, though. Seriously speaking, this is heavy. Yeah, in America, Barack Obama did it. When Jeremiah Wright had a problem in the 9th hour, what did he do? He called Jeremiah Wright out, the Reverend Wright. He said no. He disinvolved. We all know this story. Should Cummings now distance himself, or you think it is too late? Because a lot is coming up at ability. A lot. Even some the CPP folks there and say, "Hey man, we have to do something about this ability issue."
I don't think it is ever too late for somebody to do the right thing. To be honest with you, especially if we are all doing it in the interest of the country, and like somebody said, it is Cummings who is running for president. It is Cummings who wants to be the arrowhead of the country. And at this time, he has proclaimed to be the real change. I think he should start that change, start showing an example of that change, start to show to the Liberian people that he is really the serious person that we should trust. So yes, tell Cummings to resign as chairman of the CPP. But then the problem there again is that Musa Berete is there. He became chairman of the CPP by the formation of their framework document. The framework document says the chairman of Liberty Party or something is the chairman of the CPP, or the chairman of the CPP will come from the Liberty Party, and the ANC standard bearer will be the standard bearer of the CPP. So Musa is there by default. So to remove him as chairman of the CPP means that you have to ask the Liberty Party to remove him as chairman. So it's a very difficult thing. And when Cummings says,
is this a bad thing for Mr. Cummings? Is this how dangerous is it that Mr. Cummings hanging out with I beg you more, let me go because we got to go to the phone line, bring in the other conversation. How dangerous it is, Mr. Cummings hanging out with BDT, going to the election 4 months to go. How dangerous it is.
Let me just squeeze 10 minutes in. I said earlier when Mo was talking, I said if Cummings distances himself, he is done. And if he does not, he is done. This is what happens. Right now, he is in tango. Cummings have been taking dangerous risks for a long time. But this one, he is in tango. He cannot easily distance himself. Because the only hope of galvanizing support for his presidential bid. It lies within Billitt's ability to funnel money to his campaign and to help him to woo the vote that he wants. So if he says, I don't want to be with you because you are involved in shady deeds, Cummings is done forever. And if he does not do that and he stays with Billitt, everybody will say Cummings is not credible and he's also done.
Do you think Mr. Cummings understands that Billitt is a problem? He's more of a liability than an asset. Do you think Mr. Cummings understands when everybody come around and say Billitt is working for the government, that President George Manneh, we are friends? Do you think he understands that, or he just pretending? Do you think you understand that when everybody said Mr. Cummings, Billitt is speaking to Nathaniel McGill, Billitt is speaking to Samuel Tway, this thing is a double-edged sword coming towards you, it will pierce you through your heart. Do you think he understands that Billitt work of an agent, MI6, is working, and Mr. Cummings now have turned into, to be frank, do you think he understands it, or you think he just playing along, Mr. Gibson?
I think he understands, but he's being foolhardy. That's what I think. What do you think Mr. Cummings will go look for people like Louis Brown? Why is he going after people like Louis Brown to come into him to help him to win election? So he's aware of these things. He has been taking dangerous risks for a long time, and he is aware that Billitt, like Fagon said, I don't have any evidence, but Fagon being in government, he know where Billitt has passed. He know where he and Billitt have sat. So if Billitt is a double agent, of course Cummings will be aware. He's not blind to that, but he's being foolhardy. I mean,
I beg you, my last question to you will bring in your brother, Councilor Lamy. Because we are hearing that Billitt reaching out to Unity Party. Billitt denied it, but we know for fact that he tried to call that deal. MDR, please do not feed your candidate in. I'm running, I'm your son. Please do not feed a candidate in. He tell the MDR. He also saying to Prince Johnson, he called Prince Johnson, please talk to Jeremiah Kuhn. This is our county. I will represent my District 7 well into your interest. He reached out to Unity Party. Unity Party said, no, NIMBA belongs to MDR. We cannot touch NIMBA. And this guy is reaching out and said, where can we break bread? How can we smoke the pot? He have reached out to Unity Party. These things are true. Hearing all of that, the CP people that knowing, they're hearing it. Why are they still hanging out?
To that issue of Billitt reaching out to Unity Party, it is not going to work. And let me explain to you. Part of the agreement is that the NIMBA county will go to the MDR because that's their strongest hold, and the Unity Party or any other party wanting a seat there will negotiate. But the reason why the District 7 will not work is because the current representative is a Unity Party representative, the incumbent. And we are not going to compromise him for any other person. The MDR has given us the exclusive right to field the candidate there because he is an incumbent. So that thing about him reaching out to us is not going to work. Even if there were backdoor talks, it's not going to work.
So I know, Councilor, you escape on this one, but Fagon got to comment on it. Let me just reach to you. You choose to say what you want to say. I will ask the same question to Fagon. Musa Billitt reached to somebody from the Unity Party, and he was trying to negotiate how can they meet in the second round if Mr. Cummings if he make it to the second round, how can they negotiate? Early negotiation, he beginning to put words up there. It is true, he did. He cannot lie. We got a text message to that effect. But again, he reached out, and Mo Ali, you know exactly what I'm talking about when they begin to reach out and negotiate so early. It's consider, why negotiate now if you think your guy have the strength?
I have no idea why he wants to negotiate now. Maybe what Mo is saying is right. Because I understand he's running for something in Nima County. So
representative, District 7.
He's probably trying to bargain with them in order for his seat to be secure. Maybe that's the reason why he's doing that. But I have absolutely no idea why he's doing it. The best and most effective time to negotiate is when the runoff election is announced. When you know the people who are in the runoff, that's the point at which you negotiate. That's the point your negotiation becomes effective. The people who are joining political parties at this particular point because they think that those parties have or guaranteed position in the elections are losing their negotiating positions. Because in order for you to be effective at negotiation, you got to show your strength in the elections. If you do not reach the runoff, because Liberian elections, since Mr. Taylor in 97, they've always gone to runoff. And I don't think these elections are going to be any different because the incumbent has governed horribly. So the runoff election, we're hoping that we're going to be in the runoff because we think that there is a sizable majority of silent Liberians out there who do not affiliate with any political parties, and they're looking for the best candidates or the best people to run this country. And I think most of those people see Councillor Gonglo as a person to do it. So we are not going to be in the process of going back there to say we're negotiating with people now to secure.
So Councillor Gonglo is not talking about second round right now. He's not.
No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about our elections to win. So why would we be talking about second round when we need to win?
Thank you, Councillor. Can you tell Anderson that we'll be bringing him on shortly, please? Honorable Fagon, the same question to you. This guy is reaching out, Musa Hassan Bedete, begging that MDR shouldn't feed a candidate. That, well, he got to talk to the stenographer, Senator Jeremiah Coon. But he's also asking that the privilege be given to him. UP, come to my aid. He reached out to UP folks. Mo Ali is on the show. They begin to have that conversation. Why now, Fagon? If you know that Mr. Cummings will win, why are you negotiating now that you want to pledge support? And you're begging the guys and say, please do not feed a candidate and give me the chance. Talk to us, Fagon. Something just not right, Fagon.
Well, because Belete came in as a double agent, his mission was to make sure that the CPP does not hold. I am speaking not only from an informed decision, but as one of the chief strategists of the CDC and the government. So I'm not a play-by-play analyst here talking Tabata. No. His mission was to make sure, and he executed his mission well. Now, to keep the party, the CPP, broken in half, after succeeding, he had to stay on and play his role. He did. But in the process, he realized that he needed to be politically strengthened so as to hold on to power and not be pushed around legally. And that's how he moved into District 7 with his yellow machines in Nimba and started acting like he wanted to run. We have gotten to the serious part. No matter what you do, you have the United Party there, which is the incumbent. You have the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction, which is Prince Johnson and Coon Party. Where do you stand? Can you beat those two big parties with your little new CPP? You can't. What does Belete want? Why is he negotiating? Belete wants legislative power so as to have leverage. Hear me well. Leverage in negotiating what will happen after JMB wins. What are we discussing about Belete now? We are discussing 165,000. We are discussing 5.9 million. We are discussing the airport saga. We're discussing tax evasion. So Belete is only negotiating now so as to avoid what is coming for him and to have leverage as a legislator. But that's not going to work. It is next to impossible. We are not giving our seat to Belete, and we don't expect a negotiation over that seat. And that's not going to happen.
All right, so Fagon. Yeah, go ahead, Casey.
If Belete wants to negotiate, all you need to do is to go to Prince Johnson, and Prince Johnson will change the politics in Unity Party. It's not hard to do because Unity Party was going all along, very nicely, good, and Prince Johnson came and changed the whole trajectory of the parties.
No, but my question to you though, why negotiate now? I will go to what Councillor Lamis wait for the second round.
Well, if you
If you think your man is your
you are
man,
not sure.
if you think your man is your man, if you think your man is winning, if you think your man he does have the momentum, why go? Wait. Somebody want us to say this. If I'm gonna help me out, they're asking the question: did Comey send Benedict to negotiate, or Benedict is saving his own soul? That's the question they want to
Benedict
ask.
is saving his own soul. It is him that is running for representative. And the only reason why he won that legislative power is because as a legislator, you have a slack. And now, knowing all you know about Benedict now, when he becomes a legislator, it'll be difficult. He wants a slack. So it is his own neck he's trying to save, not Comey's.
Guys, we will bring in the phone line. We got to talk about the Jeremiah Coon, Senator Coon Hospital. We'll be bringing the guys from Santa. They will be discussing that. That's exactly what interests Councilor Lamy tonight. But again, we'll be bringing in Mo Ali. That's it. We'll not take Councilor Lamy on the show for tonight. But let's bring in Chairman Byron. Let's get to the phone line. We will ask you, Liberians, please, just to the question. We're going to ask you, Liberians, why Mr. Comey stay hanging up with Musa Benedict? Do you think it's time to cut him loose? Knowing everything you know, to shut down his company because he didn't pay taxes, all right? The road fund money he took, they say he didn't pay it. They went in there, they met the senator and said Benedict didn't pay, all right? Knowing everything you know about Musa Benedict, should Mr. Comey cut him loose? Or is he helping or hurting Mr. Comey? Let's talk. Let's go to the phone line.
Let us take this person. Good evening.
Yeah, Chris calling from Douala.
Yes. How is Douala? Welcome to Spoon Talk.
Well, we are okay, although we have a wet day. But as a little topic, Mr. Benedict, everybody knowing to be a satisfied criminal in our balance. So it is not a secret about his dealing with the government. He has been a travel agent for a very long period of time. Has succeeded in so many ways in fragmenting the opposition. And today, Mr. Comey is developing, is trying on the basis of what? A failure to listen to the Nigerian people. Anybody, if you can't listen, you will pay the price.
Thank you.
And Comey will that political price.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear brother. 0777 771.
Take the next call. Let be fast. Take the next call.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Spoon Talk. What is your name and where do you call from?
This is Paul from I'm calling from Kingston.
Can you increase the volume? We are not hearing the
Okay. The simple reason is Comey has no other way out for presidency. No, Comey gets no hope. Manipulated Comey die in politics. No, Comey is going to enter the backup market of 290 voters. So what I really go or not, Comey get no political future in Liberia.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear brother. Good evening.
Yeah.
This is Spoon Talk.
Yeah, this is about graphically situated in Carwell.
Okay.
Thank you very much. You know, I want to borrow the word from Arthur Jassy that said ability is a walking corrupt virus. Anything they encounter with that you will catch corruption. So, Comey, my advice to you, you say you can't be doing the same thing and expect different results. So when you be honest, they see when you say you clean, you not be clean. You.
All right. Hello. This is Spoon Talk. What is your name? No, you have to lower your monitor, please. Yes. All right. Let's take this person. Good evening.
Yes. This is Marco Ballard.
Okay, Marco. Welcome.
Yeah. My dad has been joined to the CPP. It's not Musa Benedict has scored the CPP today. The CPP can no longer hold. And we are asking Comey to get rid of Benedict or else. The ANC will not make it to the second round. So I'm clear about it. Musa Comey should make a decision right now so that we can save the CPP. Thank you so much for spending the time.
Thank you, Marco. this
Two
person.
more calls. Two more calls. We got some questions coming up for the panelists. Two more calls.
Okay. Hello. No, let's take this person. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, this is Spoon Talk.
Thank you. My name is Alfred Dennis Sofa II.
Yes, Mr. Tupac. Where do you call from?
I speak to you in District Number 2, Boston County.
Okay.
You know, sometimes I want to be a little bit careful. I am not a fan, a supporter of dating, but under our laws, it is then that one the innocent to be guilty. So they being even if it is indicted by any institution, once you are not then proven guilty through a code of competent jurisdiction, I don't want to prejudge the president. I'll tell you about something.
Thank you, my dear brother. Let's take this person. We have to go. Last caller. Hello. Hello. Yes, this is Spoon Talk. Good evening. Yes, CEO.
All right, thank you very much, Chairman. We will get back to the folks out there. But Fagon, what's going on here? Everybody on the same with the answer.
It's because, or maybe unless you have a foreigner on this panel, when it comes to the airport saga, Bility were linked. We all know what happened at the LCAA. More everybody know. Bility said, oh, in fact, Bility's son worked there. He put his son there and all. Bility has a big son. Okay? And we all know what happened to the Nimba Land fiasco. Where my Ellen gave money, say, y'all go settle and do the resettlement and what have you. It became a fiasco. Bility was linked to that. He played a pivotal role. Serious. FIFA, that one, our case finished. He took appeal. Last month, the post said, you stole the money, you are a rogue. You still banned. It comes to the road fund. Someone just said a person is not guilty of a crime. But when the person confessed to the crime and agreed to pay and said they are paying, then yes, they are a criminal. They stole the money. Why would you pay for something you didn't steal? Then you come to the taxes. You put a newspaper up. Since 2013, you are on video. I bought 250 cars, but you can't pay 165,000. 10 years now. I built all these mansions, but you can't pay your taxes. I built party headquarters, but you can't pay your taxes. And what does the government do? The government let you slide. Why? Because you're with the government. So everybody knows Bility. The fact that Cummins is hanging out with Bility.
Do you think Bility will cause Cummins this election?
Let me say this to you. All the Liberian people now who know that Cummins came to Liberia earlier and worked with Madam Salif and the Pan-African Capital Group and see Cummins hanging out with Bility, Josh Wisner, what's his name, Benson Garden, Louis Barnett. Everybody know what happened now. Cummins have lost over 60% of the supporters in the last 2 weeks. I'm saying that with confidence. They all have left him behind him.
Gibson.
Yes.
Gibson. Let me bring you guys in because I'm still waiting for Councillor Lamy and his Anderson person that he was bringing.
He gone to tutor him, man. He gone to tutor him, man.
On a serious note, do you think now, knowing what we know, the Liberian people now getting crazy, telling Bility to come and say, cut this guy loose? He going to cost Cummins the election, or Cummins going to cost himself the election?
First of all, I don't believe that Cummins is going to win this election. That's the first thing. Number two, he's going to ruin his chances the more, and the Liberian people will not give him the kind of vote that he's looking for with people like Bility on his side. It is a clear understanding that with Bility on his side, the things that Bility is doing now will be worse when he becomes president. Those are those are bad politics for him. But you know, if I'm going to talk about Ability being a double agent, and I begin to think about when Ability used to campaign for George Weah for presidency. I don't know when he turned to become a real serious opposition. So when Fagon alleged that he was purposely commissioned to break down the CPP, I tend to believe that. I tend to believe that.
But I'm kind of confused, Mr. Jerry. My confusion, I know we're going to bring in Mo Ali. Why it would take a rocket scientist to make Mr. Cummings understand that this guy is just not a guy you so hang up with. I mean, even the children on the street saying, "Go, Mr. Cummings, run." Why do you think Mr. Cummings is so stubborn that he must die with Ability?
I don't think Cummings has a choice right now. I think Cummings is a sandwich because from the beginning, when Cummings started his political sojourn, the comments he made, the decisions he made are haunting him today. I don't see myself being second to anybody. Those were initial comments that Liberians saw as someone who is very desperate. And the fact that he was in a CPP and there's rivalry in the CPP. When the CPP broke up and he went on Ability's side, that told a lot of Liberians that he's not ready. And I think it shouldn't take him too long for him to know that. I think he already knows that. And that is going to cause him the election. And when we go second round, hopefully, if we don't win the first round, we'll go second round. Gonglo is going to sift off the opposition that are coming. We're going to make sure that there are checkpoints of people who are coming and pretending to be good politicians.
Councilor, please, can you call Mr. Anderson? We gotta move on with this thing. He's logged in, but he's not on by video, so we cannot bring him on. Mo Ali, again, talk to us, Mo. Why Cummings doing this to himself? Even the people are telling him, cut this guy loose. Everything is a baggage right now. We don't need it. Mr. Cummings, you are clean hands. We don't need it. To talk to us, and we bring in. Thank you, Anderson, for joining us. We'll get to you shortly. Mo, talk to us.
The truth is, Mr. Cummings cannot and will not do away with Mr. Ability. They are tied together, one by the CPP framework document, two by the fact that Mr. Cummings does not have huge support and he's looking for support. He's not going to, by any means, throw away one of his biggest supporters. The person who has helped him to bring split in the Liberty Party, that you have the Liberty Party shattered today, breaking loose with Mr. Ability is not an option for Mr. Cummings. And you ask, will it cost him the election? Well, there was no election for him to win first before you talk about costing him. If there was an election for him to win, then you'd be talking about costing him the election. So maybe very highly possible that it's going to reduce the number of votes that he might have got in the election in the first round.
My last question, and thank you for joining us, Anderson. Real quick, my last question. I beg you, Fagon, second round. You think Ability, if Cummings, right, like everybody's saying he won't make it to the second round, you think Ability going to go back to George Manawia? You think he will?
Yes, sir.
He will support. What about you, Gibson? You think Ability will go back to George Manawia like they did?
No, hold on. Let me answer that question like this.
Yeah.
Let me answer that question like this. You think Ability will go back to George Weah, which means all of us here know that and I've said it. If you want me to go into detail, later on I'll go into detail of him being a double agent, how I know where I was and what we decided. But it depends on the margin. If we have a wide look, let's just say common sense. If we go in the second round and Joe Boakai has 49% of the votes, and the small one, Chawiage, 38, the other, you know he wouldn't need 1% plus one to push him over the line. And that would be nothing to get. Gonglo will give it to us without even asking us where you guys going. So it depends on the margin. If it is very close, Ability will take his gamble. And the reason is simple. Bility knows after this government, 165,000 will be investigated. 5.9 million will be investigated.
Are you saying under the JMB government they will go after Bility?
Bility is an individual. The chips will fall where they may, and the legal course of action will be taken to protect the interests of the Liberian people and make sure there is equity for each and every Liberian, as
Mo
well
Ali,
as
is that so?
opportunities
Mo Ali,
for each and
you
every
are saying,
Liberian.
Mo Ali, your former Secretary General, if this thing come to Joseph Yima Boyka, the next president, with Joseph Yima Boyka government go after Musa Bility and his company?
So let me not personalize it that Joseph Boyka or UP government will go after individual company. What we have made as part of our policy in the first 100 days, Joseph Boyka UP-led government will commission an audit of the entire government and the entire system. So if your system happens, if your company or an individual happens to fall foul, as will be reported by the audit, the law will go after you. It will not be Joseph Boyka or UP going after you. It is the law.
So the law, thank you very much. The law will be the law. The law should be the law. Councillor, talk to us, Councillor. You are muted, Councillor. We're not hearing you. Can you give the Councillor volume, please?
We will go after anybody who stole Liberian people money, our money. We'll go after that person. And we're not only stop there. The people who fail to go after people who stole our money. Because if the statute of limitations stop us from getting our money back, the people who fail to do their work will go after them to pay that money. That's what we'll do.
So you are saying from the Taiwan Gongolo camp, whether an individual or a company, y'all will go after everyone. Everything.
We'll go after everyone. When the law says we can go after the person because of somebody's negligence, we'll go after that person who was negligent.
Wow.
We'll go after that person.
Wow. So folks, we want to say thank you. We'll come back again. We didn't touch the how you call him, Edwin Snow conversation you brought up today. I really wanted us to touch it Fagon, but let's spend some time with Mr. Anderson Melman. Welcome to the Spoon Talk, sir. How you doing?
Thank you, Stanton. It's a pleasure to be here. I hope I can achieve the objective for which I've come on, basically. And thanks to your panelists for all the efforts you've been making to shed light on different issues in the country.
Thank you. Anderson, why are you here? Why are you on Spoon Talk?
I'm here basically to respond to the comments made by Mr. Mo Ali on June 6, alleging that I am into active politics, or in 2020, I actively or vigorously campaigned for Madam Edith Gonglo Ware, and I was on a campaign trail or team with him. That's basically what I'm here to clarify.
So, were you?
Yeah, once again, thank you for the opportunity. As you know, or you may know, I work for the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, which is CENTAR. CENTAR is a local civil society organization and the national chapter of Transparency International. We've been around since 2004, playing roles at different levels, basically to support good governance efforts. If you talk about civil society organizations in the business of fighting against corruption, CENTAR.
We understand, because we're running with time. Were you ever part of the Edith Gonglo Ware team?
Not at all. I don't even know Edith Gonglo Ware except for hearing about her on the radio. At CENTAR here, we are politically neutral. Our policies forbid us from actively participating in politics, especially so me as head of the institution or any member or members of the senior management team here. So
who established CENTAR? Who brought about CENTAR?
Center was established by Liberians who believe at the time that corruption was a major issue in the country and there needed to be a dedicated institution or civil society organization to support national efforts to address it.
So let's go. We're going to do a round of questioning because I understand why you're here. They had this conversation yesterday. Liberians want to understand from you yourself, or your report from Santa, your report or part of your group report concerning Jeremiah Kwan Hospital. What do you know? Let's talk about it. Let's just go directly and talk about it. Talk to us. What do you know? Yeah.
So, like I indicated, I'm not really here to discuss that report or the contents of the report because it's clear. It is on our website. Those who are interested in the report, not just that report, but all the reports we've been doing, can go on our website, www.cental.org.lr. They can access the report, go through it, and make whatever commentaries or so that they can. The facts are there, they're evidence-based. We are a credible organization. I don't necessarily need to tell you that here.
What did your report say, Anderson? What did your report say concerning Jeremiah Kwan Hospital?
I am not here to discuss the contents of the report. What I'm here to do, like I said, is to speak to what Mo Ali said.
But before we get to the Mo Ali, though, the reason why, hold on 1 minute, Anderson, I beg you, hold on 1 minute. Councillor Lamine Pako, you told us that the gentleman was coming on, that we can speak about Jeremiah Kwan Hospital and his report.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. Why did you invite him, Councillor Lamine Pako?
No, if
can I make a point quickly?
I beg you, Mo, I'll come to you next. Let's listen to the councillor, please.
The issue about his political involvement, when the show went on the other time, there was this heated argument about the reason why that report was done was a hatchet job because Anderson Miame was an active campaigner of Edith Gongolo Ware, and that's the reason why he decided to lie on Jeremiah Kwan. That's what Mr. Ali said. So it's only proper that Anderson would be given the opportunity to come and clarify whether he decided to lie on the vice standard bearer of the Unity Party because of his political interests. It's only proper to do that. And he said that
be the case, if that be the case, Councillor, then that's the report.
Nobody can read it and see.
But Councillor, and I beg you, Gibson and Fagon and Mo, that means that we have to discuss the report that Anderson put out there, but he chose not to discuss it. He said he's not going to talk about it. We should go online. So since y'all want us to go back online, Mr. Anderson Melman, we say thank you for joining Spoon Talk tonight. We'll go online and we'll write our comment and we will post our own opinion. But thanks for joining us and have a good evening, sir.
Thank you. That's basically why I came. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Mo, let's go ahead. Talk to us, Mo.
Yeah, so I just knew that Anderson would have opted not to talk about the report because, like I said, and I stand by what I said, the report portion that talked about the hospital was actually politically motivated because Anderson was against the political interests of Kwan, like all of us. I did not support Kwan. I supported Edith Gongolo Ware. And the report was published in 2021. He alleged in the report that Jeremiah Kwan's hospital was getting money from government. If we were even assuming that the hospital was getting money from government, normally government does subsidize private institutions, schools, and health centers. But I sent you a report today, the notarized copy of the transfer of the hospital from the foundation that was running it to the government of Liberia. If you will, you could put it up for the public to see. Very notarized. And you will see, when you put that copy up, you will see that Stanton, the hospital, was transferred to the government of Liberia for a period of 6 years. For a period of 6 years. You see in there, on January 22, 2020, Mr. Anderson report that he made through Centar said that the investigation was done throughout 2020. Throughout 2020, the investigation was done. The hospital was transferred. And if you see the signature page there, you will see the Minister of Health and all of those people that have to do with the health, with the government. January 22nd, 2020. And when you go back to the second page, the report, the notarized document transferring the hospital to the government also tells you that Mr. Kun transferred the hospital and he will not receive a penny from the operations of that hospital from government or from proceeds gotten from the hospital. Not a penny. And the reason why they transfer it for 6 years is for Mr. Kun to observe, his foundation to observe, how is the government going to take care of this property? And after the 6 years, the hospital will be transferred permanently to the government of Liberia. So how can Mr. Anderson Miameh go conduct an investigation? He did not even talk to Mr. Kun, because when he published the report, Senator Jeremiah Kun called him personally to protest that what you stated in this report is not true. The hospital has been transferred. And even while the hospital was being operated privately, it was operated by a non-profit foundation that was registered with the government.
So Mo, let me hold you a bit, and we are going through the document, and let me bring in Gibson, and I'll bring in Councilor. No, but we have to give our brethren the chance to respond. Councilor, you have anything to add? Gibson, you have anything to add?
Let me just say something. You know, we have to be honest with ourselves. The Anderson has said the report is self-explanatory, it's online. People can go and read it and make their own opinions about it.
But the people in the villages can they go online to read?
Eugene Westmore. What Moali said was that Anderson Miameh decided to lie on Senator Kun because he was campaigning for Edith Gonglo Ware, and Edith Gonglo Ware did not win the election. I mean, you can make a statement like that about another person when you know it's not true. And you see, he's avoided discussing that particular issue. And you're talking about transfer of hospital. So discuss the issue. You made an error.
No.
Let me
get twisted here.
Come and say yes. I made a true. It's simple.
You cannot say my opening statement on this matter.
I'm sure you know, Anderson.
In my opening statement on this matter, I made very clear that the report on Senator Kun by Anderson Miameh was politically motivated.
Because he was campaigning for Edith Gonglo and she did not win. And you said you and he campaigned together. And you know that's not true. So why would you say something that's not true, Mo?
But that Mojaye was not true.
For me,
it's his word versus
the appearance of
how is his word versus Mo Ali's word? How is his word versus Mo Ali's word?
The appearance of Mr. Miameh, I think he didn't do us justice, because I understand that he came to clarify. I understand that he came to clarify that he did not campaign. But at the same time, he is one of the authors of that document. He could have given us at least a light into this.
Thank you.
To tell us what process. For me, I want to know the methodology they employed to do the investigation. What were their findings? Who they talked to? Did they make effort to reach out to Mr. Kun? Did they reach out to government ministry responsible for this transfer? I wanted to know all of these things, because the problem with I've been dealing with NGO for a long time. There was a conglomerate of NGOs in Liberia that we use to publicize their document, their work, and there are sometimes I rejected some as an editor to publish them because I feel that it was empty. I'm not accusing Mr. Miame and his Central group of undercutting themselves, but I think this one he shot himself in the leg because there was a perfect opportunity for him to give it to Mo Ali as he knows it. Mr. Mo Ali, you don't know about this report. You haven't read this report. We did this. We contacted Mr. Kuhn. He failed to listen. He failed to talk to us. We went to the school. We asked officials. We asked people who are involved into this. And we are very sure that he was receiving money. Personally, somebody called me from Nima last night and told me that Kuhn is receiving $10,000 per annum on this particular hospital. I'm going to Liberia on July 25th, and I'm going to Nima to make sure myself to ask whether it is true that he is receiving money. Those are issues that we really want to know about. So I think Mr. Miame should just say something about it because this allegation against him is to me is inferior to the major issue because he put up a report. It is based on a report that Mr. Mo Ali is responding. So Mo Ali is speaking as a politician, but he is speaking as a technocrat, as a human rights.
Thank you. So let me bring in Councillor Paco, then we'll go to Honorable Fagon. Councillor.
So the Anderson has said clear cut. What are the methodology they use to do the report? I mean, that's not relevant. You go to his website, you take his report, you can criticize it. You can criticize his methodology. You can do anything you want to do. And he told you, go to my website, it's there. Read the report and say whatever you want to say about it. But I'm not going to editorialize the issue. But what is of importance, we all are panelists here. That's the reason why I'm always very careful on slandering people. Got to be very careful. You shouldn't be thinking about or giving red meat to your base so you decide to slander somebody. You don't do that. If you say with confidence that the person must campaign for another person, you say the man must campaign for another person when the person is not involved in politics. You say the man must campaign for another person. I mean, you putting us slander out there is wrong.
You know, I mean, all the defense you're doing, you're not doing the show justice.
More, did you and Anderson campaign for either bungalow well together?
Anderson came on the show. Anderson rebuked my statement. He should have waited for me to counter. He didn't do it. He left. And the reason that brought this thing is about even to what Christine said, I wanted to react quickly. If the government of Liberia will go into an agreement notarized under the law, and that agreement says, Mr. Jeremiah Kuhn, you will not receive a penny for the 6 years this hospital is under the control of the government. And then that same government will pass under him and be giving $10,000. It is in the agreement that Jeremiah Kuhn will not take $5. And also speaking with Jeremiah Kuhn, when the government took the hospital, the government said, we will not inherit the liabilities of the hospital. He was indebted in the tune of almost
Thank you, guys. We got to go. It's 6:15.
He is still servicing our debt.
Mo, thank you very much. Fagon, take us home. We got to run through the next topic.
Let's get some facts here, and let's leave the Tabata and the fiction. This brother came here. It was something that brought the talk about him supporting Ide Gonglo Way. That was something that brought our talk. That the report he made was politically motivated. He comes on the platform. They ask him. He said, no, I did not. He denied it. The CEO asked him, for the benefit of the people out there, tell us what's in the report. You said, no, the poor will go read the report online. Councillor Lamy, in case you don't know, there are 3 radio stations relaying you right now.
So,
Madam Musu in Bomi, does she have a computer to go online? Ome Bolokaju in Bom, he wants to hear, does he have a computer? Does he even have internet? You are on 3 radio stations. You are asked about a report, like Gibson said, that you author and you don't know your own report for the benefit of the public, to be the judge, to see whether you are telling the truth or is politically motivated, don't play with us here. Secondly, Gibson, you said, someone said 10,000 per annum. If someone would give you a $2.5 million property, it is stipulated in a document right here. So Mo already explained that part to you. But a $2.5 million property, they're going to give it to you for $830 a month. $830 a month. This is political season. And I applaud you for saying you're going to check. But it doesn't make sense. If you divide 12 months by 10,000, it's $833 per month. That's in a Tabata right there. And the reason why, Lami, I'm saying this, let's forget about Mo Ali and that man. That man came on this platform. Liberian people hungry for knowledge.
You had an opportunity, though.
The opportunity was there. And you say you can't tell us, Ome Bulukaju, Ome Lami, Pagoy, Sion. They will go take computer and read it and make comments. I don't even know why you're brought here. You just wasted our time.
Folks, we need to move on. I cannot go without discussing this issue. Again, to our brother Gibson, Jerry, you know, you seem to be fair, you know, and I hope when you go over there to Nimba, take one of our guys with you, and let's talk about Nimba.
I mean, we'll swallow GB there.
But give the guy GB too. When you hit the ground, take one of our guys and talk to Madam Titi, the CEO, and you know that they can ride and die with you while you're on your mission to Liberia, that we can see and know about the real Nimbadians, not the politician, the actual people that will say, "Babwa, I will eat a man, evil man." Let's talk about that. But let's go back to the Edwin Snow. Fagon, why you went after Edwin Snow today? Real quick, we got only about 15 minutes to this discussion. Why you went after Edwin Snow, Fagon?
Honestly, I like you as a brother, but sometimes you can really get on my last nerves.
That's how it is, bro.
Because sometimes when I'm talking serious, I know you got the evidence, you were delaying, sometimes you don't put it up. Why did I go after Edwin Snow? You know, Edwin Snow sat on the same platform and said that Western Cluster spent over $250 million.
I beg you, Fagon, I beg, hold on 1 minute. Guys, we love to have you on our network. We love your response, but do not insult anyone, not our dear counselor or anyone else. Please, let's just be civilized in having a good discussion. We can disagree to agree. But again, I will ask you, please, do not insult anyone. We hate to block you. But don't do that, please.
It's normal. The UP people, when you say something that they don't like, they start insulting you. That one, I don't want. Just look, the people who do it. By the time you see people, they added the city. You know the CDC people now. Even people who you know, some of the people who you know, they will start writing it.
I mean, they get vexed for no reason and start insulting you. Uncommon conversation.
Somebody who are never around, like telling you say you know something. Yeah. You know,
what's about Fagon, though, real quick, Fagon, and I hope Liberians listen tonight.
Anybody calls me
Snow from Bombay. Snow from Bombay, right?
People are UP people, they don't want doing it.
I said me. Anybody calls me like Gonglo people.
Fagon, you from Bombay, Snow from Bombay. Why are you still hating him so hard? I thought we were done. I thought you guys were mellow. But let's come to the issue. Why you went after Snow today?
No, me and Snow, we cool. Don't forget, we went to school together. That man you can be calling Snow. That man need JU. And, you know, Jordan was fat.
It's still fat, but it's still fat, by the way.
It's still fat. My problem is some of our friends and brothers, sometimes they don't understand. And sometimes we feel bad for what happened. But it's hard to defend someone who is not defending themselves. Edwin Snow, you and I were here. And I'm looking up to you to admit. He sat on this platform and said $250 million. had been spent chasing Western Cluster. Agree. He was angry. But he was the one who negotiated the contract with the Indian company and joined those people, Musadin, Samuel Twe, Kessler Morris, and Malwa Gray, to do what? To waive $14 million after confessing, yeah, knowing that we did not, as citizens of Bomi, we did not eat fasten from our resources. Fasten of the 250. But 3 days ago, for 3 days now, he's been showing his mansion, no house. That is not a house. Somewhere where car can park in.
Do you have the picture? We want to show the picture if you have it.
Let me when I get it.
Can you send?
Let me when I get it, but let me finish my thought. Let me when I get it. You ever hear say if I gonna say something, I'll show you. Okay, but again, like I said, we're trying. But when you show these kind of things, and I'm sending it to you right now, boom. I'm putting it in the producer room. I'm putting the discussion. I'm putting it, yeah. That's one. I'm sending the second one to you. When you do these kind of things and you put them out like that and you brag about it on your page, what are we supposed to do? And I will send the main one. Just be patient. I will send the main one from the area view. So you don't say, oh, you didn't send it from the top. The one with the drum.
Yeah,
Okay?
but we understand that the main property. Do the connection.
No, wait a minute.
I want you
Wait
to
a
connect.
minute.
Yeah, connect.
The
We gotta
main one I
go.
want you to show the Liberian people is what I'm sending you now. And if you put it out with the plow. Now, we show Belete. You guys are doing these things, but you are bragging about your mentions, and nobody can hold you accountable. So let's look at Western Cluster. You and everyone here agree that it was a bad deal.
Is this Western Cluster?
This is Western Cluster. Yeah, what's in there? Look at Mountain. At the senator car they're parking. See the 1, 2, 3 machine. The steering
That's
our
no
iron
car.
ore.
That's no car there.
I know I can't see the plate, but it looks just like it. And the
We
one you were
got it,
saying, I'm
senator car.
carrying the trophy to Bomi. Look at how they digging iron ore. The hard Lamco and LMC then used to dig iron ore. Look at the cars they carry their agency that is legislator than cars. You see that? We told the people not to use our roads. They are using our roads. The money was sold. Yeah, this is our iron ore. They got nothing there but 6 Indian people living in container. They've built no school. They've built no hospital. They've done nothing for our people. Look at containers. You see the containers there? Then all of that, you wave back to them 14 what? Million United States dollars. What did we benefit as a county? Look at it. Look at the dirty truck there. Huh? Look at the old tire then they put there. But from there, you show all your mansion. And you want us to see. You will put a mansion up. Anything you do to the standard, you put a mansion up. And then when we see the mansion, me, I want you to put a one from the area view. The last one I sent you. I'm begging you, Papa. If you like God.
Yeah, continue talking. They're uploading it. This is wow.
Look. Look at what you're looking at over there. President Salif called it opulence. Look at the mansion. Can you not see the car row going around the house? And the car can park inside the house? Do you not see the swimming pool? You weigh 14 million.
Is this Liberia though? Is this Liberia?
That is Liberia. That mansion is in the middle of a forest. That mansion is in the middle of a forest. And you wave our 14 million. And then you brag and you boast and you flash your mansion. And then when we tell you, say that government, guess what? You get this. That is the presidential palace from 2024 going forward. We shall see. You get our 14 million.
Is this in Bomi?
This is in Bomi, bro. That place used to be formerly the Henry's Ranch. Richard Henry. His two sons, Winston and Abram. I used to go there and I used to play to that place and do stuff. You see? You do all they want. You show it, you boast, you brag. But our 14 million was given free of charge. Our hospital, nothing there.
So if I go, hold on 1 minute, because now
Our
we have to
government
go.
school, nothing.
We have to hear from the others, and I want to involve the Liberian people in this one. I want, seriously, this is something. Gibson, you come in first, my brother. You come in first, Gibson. Who put this thing out? Can you take it down? All right, Gibson, can you help us, please? What's going on with our lawmakers?
First of all, Edwin Snow has been having money for a long time, whether he stole it or he owned it, but he has been having money for a long time. The house he built, the first house he built is just like that house. And the second house he built is more than that house. And that house happens to be the third in line of the houses he had built. But I don't believe that all the money he has had in his life were money that he honestly worked for. I believe he had taken money that is not belonging to him, that belonged to public corporations. When he worked at LPRC, the bank ruled the LPRC. And so when he was with Taylor, as a son-in-law of Taylor, he had an opportunity as a youth chairman of NPP. He had a lot of money because I interviewed him many times. So I know Snow very, very, very well from the day he came to Monrovia with Charles Taylor and the others. But I wanted to know, are you concerned about the house because he built it, or do you really believe that the $14 million was what he used to build a house?
Well, thank you for the, how should I call that kind of question? This one is not an intellectual question. It is what we call leading the witness or driving the narrative. I'm not going to play by that. What I do know is Edwin Snow was representative when the whole thing went on in our county. Then Edwin Snow became senator. Yeah. And Edwin Snow on this platform, Stanton is here. Stanton is the witness.
I watched the show. I watched that show.
Okay. So if you ask me the question, is this, you think the money he used to build this house? My friend, if you are going to waive $14 million to a company and then come back and finish this kind of mansion while our resources is being stolen right before your eyes, you think we're going to be blind to it? Unless, Gibson, you don't know.
No, that is a critical inference. I don't have a
That's
problem
what I'm
with
saying.
that.
Hold on, let me finish.
So Gibson, hold on. Hold on 1 minute. Fagon, I beg you, hold on. I like to put this up, Fagon. Fagon, we don't have Fagon, hold on 1 minute. So the guys are coming up and saying that this is very important. That's the list they were putting up. Western Cluster has only 10 employees on its direct employment.
Yes,
of the
sir.
10 employees, 8 are Indians and just
Yes,
2
sir.
are Liberians.
Yes,
So,
sir.
folks, let that balance this. Gibson, I know where you are coming from, though. The senator from Bomi County building mansions. He was able to negotiate that they cleared 14.5 million off and waive it, gave it back to the Indian people.
Yes.
He building homes, mansions. I'm not going to connect because Edwin Snow is Edwin Snow. Y'all can do your work. But you have only 2 Liberians. After you have given the people money to the Indians people, after you have given them all the hundreds of millions of dollars in resources, iron ore and other resources, guess what? You have only 2 Liberians. Yes, the list. Yes, the list. Mo Ali. with the people of Bomi, Bapalu, Kipman. Before I even get to Councillor Lamina coming from Bomi, Mo Ali, talk to us. You from Kipman.
But
Look at this list. Look at what the people are doing. And look at the senator mansions that he just care less. He's enjoying.
Let me
You want to go first,
respond
Gibson?
to-
Gibson, go first. Go first, Gibson.
Yeah, let me respond to that. You know, the problem we have in our country is the inability of the relevant people to raise issue. Fagon is with us here in America and in raising this issue. We have superintendents, we have other representatives, we have another senator, we have other prominent bombing citizens in Liberia, and they all sat there. I believe if they are not willing to say anything, they can be accused of colluding with Snow. Because if Snow received money and gave a chunk to the superintendent and gave a chunk to the other representative, everybody ate something, then they will not raise, because this is a very critical issue that Fagon has raised. And this issue of employment, this issue of employing people who are not from the county, I'm number one person who is against it. People bring they have people living in the county, but they bring other people from outside to come and work for them in the county.
That's what they did to us.
The citizens of that county, they make them poor and poorer. They take the resources and lead the people out. This is very,
Gibson,
very
thank
wrong.
you very much. I have to bring in Mo Ali and I have to bring in Councillor Paco. Mo, are you with us? You seem frozen, Mo. Mo Ali. All right, let me bring in the councillor.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
All right, you go first, Mo. Go first, Mo. Then we'll bring in councillor.
Yeah, and it happens that Councillor Kpagoitu is from Cape Mount, from the Western Cluster. You know, every time we talk about this entire Western Cluster thing, and not only the Western Cluster, but all of the mining companies in Liberia, particularly from our region, it hurts me even more. And I'm not going to discuss it from only the standpoint of one senator or so. Gibson put it rightly. When you put the three counties together, they have 6 senators. Those same 3 counties have 9 representatives. Interestingly, they really do not care. From my own Cape Mount, you know, the first time when I was county development officer, we went to talk to the people. By the time the gold mine they had not started, they were still doing their prospecting. When they had just discovered the real gold, the people told us that they were going to mine for 8 years. Within the first 6 years, Stanton, they were going to recover all of their expenses. They said they had previously discovered 1 million ounces of gold. And for the last 2 years of the 8, all they were doing, they were going to be making profit. What has that gold mine done for the people of Cape Mount? Environmental disaster. The other day we saw fish dying from the water. And those are the sources of living for our people. They go and fishing during the dry season, rainy season. We net different type of fishing to catch and sell and survive. This Bomi County is a victim of, how they used to call it, LMC or something?
Yes.
It's a victim of LMC to the extent that people started calling Bomi County Bomi Hole because they mined there for decades.
Yeah.
They didn't leave a zinc shack there. Bomi is one of the most underdeveloped counties within the entire Liberia. Again, Western Cluster has started mining there. This time around, for them to even carry the containers that at least Meta still has in Yekepa for people to live in, they employ only 10% because they do not want to spend. They are not transporting the iron ores by rail. They're transporting them by trucks. They transport them overnight in the trucks. What is Bomi benefiting? Nobody knows. You're not employing people. You're not building any infrastructure for the people. No health facility, no school. The county is benefiting nothing. But yet, those counties have leaders. And then you extend it to the country. What does the president even care? What does the legislature entirely care? As long as we can get small things from the mining, the concession companies, that's okay.
and they don't care. So what we are doing in those counties is that effectively we are destroying what we have. That
to be continuing this week,
future generation to survive.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Mo. Let's bring in Councillor Lamine. Councillor,
So
your area, Councillor.
Yeah, like Mo said, I'm from Cape Mount also. Both my parents are from Tewa district. My mother is from the southern side of Tewa, my father from the northern side of Tewa. In my village, my father's village, I should say, because I'm from both two different villages. In my father's village, this the I think it's a Turkish mining company. I think the same company that is in Kinjo. Mo, how do they call that company again?
I don't even know that name anymore.
Beer Mountain.
Okay, yeah. So they're there now. They've set up camp, and they're about to start to do some mining. But you know the problem in the country, we are our own worst enemies. That's the problem. And because people are poor, the people in the village, I went there, and we didn't even know that our company was operating because we always go there during decoration day because our father is buried there. So we go there. And we went there a few years ago and saw this company had come in, and someone brought an MOU that the company has signed with the people in the village. You would not believe some of the things that the people in the village were asking for. That tell you that we are our own worst enemies. They were not after the school. The school that is is an elementary school that is in a bad state. They were not after that school being elevated to a better level and also renovated, and the teachers paid good money. They were not after that. They were after a football fee first. We are our own worst enemies. And those people in that village, even knowing that they have highly educated people from that village, they were not interested in letting us to know what kind of negotiations they were having with the company people. They would take a piece of paper. How can you negotiate with people who you and they are not on the same level? How can you do that? But because they were getting small money, that was the only thing that was of interest to them. And I mean, if we continue running this country like that, we're not going to make any progress. Liberia is a rent-seeking state, and because the government collects royalties from these companies, the government doesn't care. The government takes whatever royalty it collects from these people, and that's the reason why.
That's the issue. And exactly, that's the issue. We gotta go, Councillor. We'll be back here again to discuss.
We have to change the mindset of our people. We have to move from being small-minded people to being people who are looking to improve our country, to improve our society. $1,000 a year, $2,000 there will not help. I mean, the gold that people are extracting from their country and taking back to their country is benefiting them far more than the small rent they will pay to us. Far more.
So again, thank you very much, Councillor. We got to show these pictures because there you go, Liberians. That's your natural resources, the shipping. All right, millions of dollars in gold, diamond, iron, or whatever you can call it. This is where we are as a country. You know, give me a little bit, forget about my country. Me first, me, myself, and I, and we'll worry about the country later. This is exactly where we are, folks. I want you to call. We're going to take 10 calls straight because we got to go. We're going to take 10 calls. We're going to do our closing. And we want to say, now you're seeing what you're seeing. We finish talking about Musa Ability. Don't talk about him again. We talk about other part of the government. Let's talk about this bombing thing. You hear that Edwin Mervyn Snow, senator of bombing, he building these mansions. Only thing you're not seeing it, you're on the radio, but it's bigger than the mansion of the Republic of Liberia. Different mansions. I don't know who money it is, though. Maybe that the money Edwin Snow making from his farm, or maybe that the money he making as senator, maybe that the money he make from LPRC, but Edwin Snow building all these mansions, and well, it is what it is. You Liberians, you need to talk. What do you think? Do you deserve, if you're from Bomi, Kipma, Bapolu, do you deserve better? Is your life better now than 5 years ago? Let's talk. Back to the phone line, Chairman Barron. We're going to take 10 calls. Chairman?
Yes.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Walk away from your monitor, please.
Yeah, this is Samuel Mo calling from Dara.
All right, Samuel.
I hear from Kaiban, Bomikando, to see our country being denigrated, desecrated by our leader.
Okay, Samuel, you just left the line. Let's take this person. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, this is Spoon Talk. What is your name and where do you call from?
Yeah, thank you. This is Momo Taylor. I call you from Painesville.
All right, Taylor.
Yeah, I've been thanking the panelists of Honorable Stanton Wallace. I've been thanking you for the platform. You know, it's my first time calling. I'm very happy to be on the platform this evening. What you guys discuss, I mean, it's very sad. I'm very, very much unhappy this hour to see our resources being taken, being extracted, and nothing has been given back. And get few people at the legislature benefiting from it and leaving our country with nothing. You know, it's very sad. Hope that Laverne we are seeing these things and hope we can elect the right leader in the power. And to speak on the issue of Anasi Nyami that came, that public report for Jeremiah Kun, I think what Boali said is politically motivated and in come from a political standpoint.
Let's take the third call, please.
Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you. We have to take other callers or calls. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, welcome to Spoon Talk.
So happy to be online. My name is Abraham Hinakoli and I call from Claytown, Bomikante.
How is Bomikante, AB?
Yeah, Bomi is not doing too well. Because even our rules at the started way, it is on hold as we speak. From Clay Checkpoint going all the way to Tomobre. The rule is not done yet. Senator Snow said that the work will resume this coming Wednesday, so we're waiting to see it. But you know, the Western region is a very sad place to be. The opportunity is here. The resources are here. Bapolu, Cape Mount, Bomi, we got gold, we got diamond, we got timbers. But why do we keep suffering? We got iron ore, mismanagement. Is it that our leaders forget about us? And we don't have that energy to go protest whole day. You look for food to eat, you go protest for 1 month.
Okay, thank you, AB.
How you manage?
Thank you, my dear brother. We have to take 5 more calls, then we can join the CEO. Hello. Good evening. Yes, this is Spoon Talk. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm Thomas. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Yes, Thomas.
Yes, I want to say hello to all the panelists in studio. You know, I called to express my frustration and disappointment in Councilor Kako. Councilor Kako need to be very, very honest with the discussion and not play double standard. Hey, can you imagine? Will we not have guests on Spoon FM? I said something in the community, and Mr. Stanton Waterfront called me in studio to clarify what I said in the community as a politician or as a civil society actor. Then I said, Mr. Stanton Waterfront, I cannot speak to this. Go to the recording that was recorded during the time I spoke. So, do we ever get in studio? Because anytime you call any guest or politician to kind of discuss on or provide clarity to our people, the person can simply say, no, I don't have the time to clarify. Just go to the recording or go to the people who are around and ask them.
Thank you.
Somebody went in studio and asked, let me learn on this one second, Mr. Brown.
Okay.
See, somebody went in studio and asked the man, can you please provide clarity on your report on Jeremiah Kun? And you say to the report, it is online. Are you kidding me? You know, and the Bible said down the councilor who on the studio who day talking about equity, talking about prosperity, talking about the developmental agenda of Liberia, how to be honest so the country can move forward.
Thank you, comrade. Thank you. Thank you. We have to take 4 more calls. Then we can call it a day. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing there?
Yes,
brother?
this is Spoon Talk.
Wonderful. This is Joseph Boy Cooper. I'm calling from District 8.
Moserado County.
Exactly.
Okay.
I just called to express my thanks and appreciation to the network, and also express my disappointment over how things are proceeding on the network. Have you sat down and understood that the whole world depends on Spoon at night? You haven't. Eugene Facon were on the camp in Ghana. Casaprico. You can make noise when other people are talking. Tonight they're talking about bombing. You're very serious and to the point. Please cut off the joke. You have a lot of professional journalists that are following you at night from various countries across the world. Please discuss the issue.
Okay. Okay.
About the time that the press take hold of the issue regarding integrity about Liberia.
Integrity.
Our resources being plundered. And we're not going to let this go.
Thank you, my dear brother.
There's a wake-up call to all of you on the phone network. Please,
I'm not understanding the matter.
That the Liberian people understand and know the next way forward.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. 3 more calls. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon. I see from M. Kamara calling from Chicota.
Yes.
Okay. The whole thing getting before us. One NIA commission, of course, beyond the Musability. One NIA commission, he told the people today, Musability are now paid for 5 years. That for now, beginning up to now, that 10 years ago, they can't know Musability paid 5. He don't get that for 5 years, setting down his business. That means the government is the NRA boss inevitable, insignificant being. And so 5 years, you don't have on take Tuesday.
All right,
What
my
does
dear.
it's a complete nonsense.
2 more, then we can call it a day. Hello. Yes.
This is Asumana Abdullah calling you from Adona Street.
Yes.
I would like to have you talk of the network. They're winning heavily here. The caller just said it all. This is about Liberia. Are you with me? I'm true?
Yes, we are listening.
This is Liberia. Now only bombing, now only came up. And we are going to school as educated people, understanding the way in which our country is being exported. We have no supposition our resources are being extracted in the country. We should get to the people to know how to deal with a read before the extraction of the resources. You shouldn't just have it as a talk show. Don't get back to them. Only for Kema, the council is to them. What tell the truth? You shouldn't come pay for all. You ain't get it. How will you say the poor in bombing Kema? I don't know how would they the one with the revenue of the extraction of the resources in there. You tell the truth. Some are all from the mental background. And we cannot see the country going to the way. From our rather, I will say I am the country. I will tell you seriously.
You can't say you take me against your own country.
All right, so let's go. We will not take that. No taking arm, folks. No taking arm. But thank you, Baron. Thank you very much. We want to wrap this thing up. We want to say thanks to everyone. We know it's very, very heated. Again, folks, we will not do it to your liking, but we appreciate you joining us every evening that we can have a wonderful time on Spoon Talk. This is your program. This is your show. Again, we can announce that on Friday, Senator from Maryland County, Senator James Bynum, will be our guest. Again, the topic says, well, they're going to unleash him. He about to speak for a very long time. He have not spoken to the nation in this form, but he's coming to be a guest for Spoon, and it will be powerful. We want to say we tell you thank you, everyone. Bobby T, Angeline Williams, Jennifer Scott Zuba, Frankly Conan Ware, Nimadid Volker, Frankly Maxi Blay, Sedewan Jepo, everybody, Sia Lule, we want to say thank you very much, and all our many followers. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Let's wrap this thing up. Tomorrow will be a powerful one. Tomorrow is Thursday, and we will talk more about the government, about political party, and the way forward for Liberia. As always, may God bless you. May God keep you as we close the program for tonight. Let's do Gibson. You want to go first? We're going to hold the counselor for last, because if he go first, he runs. So we're holding for last. We get 8 more minutes. We know your trade counselor.
No, but it's late. It's late in Morovia, so we should be nice to him.
No, I know. No, but we got 8 more minutes. Let's wrap this thing up.
Okay.
Go ahead.
For me, first of all, I don't know where the guys have issue with Lami, but I don't think Lami is the problem. I want to ask the Spoon Network to invite Mr. Miame to come back in the capacity of speaking to this report. It is important. Central is a respected organization in Liberia. And if they come up with a report and it's challenged by the person who they are reporting on, it is incumbent upon them to provide clarity to the public, because that's how people respect the organization. We cannot hold the organization in high esteem, and at the same time, they are doubt over their reports, and they cannot come to explain it. There are some people who are even educated than me, but don't even have internet. I know several people who are helped to do internet work for them. They don't even have computers. So these people cannot go online to see everything. And like Fagon said, there are like 3 radio stations that are relaying this broadcast. That means a lot of people are hearing it. It's a good opportunity for Mr. Miame to set straight his facts and hammer home the issue that he reported on. And I also want to say that the Bomi Legislative Caucus, even as well as the Kema Legislative Caucus, they should be concerned about this. Mr. Snow cannot manipulate everything in the county. If he is manipulating everything and all the lawmakers are quiet, all the superintendents, the assistant superintendent, all the officials, all the sons and daughters are all quiet about it, it tells me that it looks like everybody's afraid of Snow. It shouldn't be that way. People should come up. I mean, for example, Mr. Fagon will be construed differently because he and Snow had a feud before. So the thing, maybe some people think when he raised issue that, he's going after Snow because he doesn't like Snow. He's jealous of Snow. So let other people also speak. Let them know. Let them say the things they know, so that it can also benefit the people in Bomi County. And let me just say that one more time. This thing happened to Grand Jeddah, okay? The mountain in Grand Jeddah was originally Jeddah Mountain. When Madam Salif came to power, they changed the name to different name.
Just some kind of margin. Thank you, sir. We got to run. We are pressed against time, Mr. Gibson. Well, yeah. Mr. Mo, Adi, can you jump in? Can you do your closing? And we'll bring in the counselor, Mo.
Well, my closing is actually going to be on this entire Western cluster thing. I am very disgusted. We started talking about it, but like Lami said, it is a huge battle for us. Because the first thing is, when you begin to talk and ask the people to reject these things, they ask you, how we'll do it, what we're going to do. But all of those communities, Cape Mount is one of the counties noted, Bomi, for producing some of the educated people in this country. And they know there are children that are educated from there. But when these people go to negotiate, I mean, you go negotiate, you ask for football, town hall, and all that kind of stuff. How does it benefit the community? So for me, I want to send a direct message to our people. Because when they go, they ask for the chiefs, the people who live in there, that the people, we are all from there. We need to know what's happening. It can just be you go, you dig the play, you mine everything. Those things will finish. They are not replaceable resources. When it's gone, it's gone. You're not coming there. They're not tree one. When you call it down, you can plant another one, it grow. They will take all the iron ores. They will take the diamonds. They will take the gold. Your children will have nowhere to live. They will have nothing to benefit from. It is good to start to involve your children in these negotiations, or else other people will keep benefiting. The other countries are developing on our resources, and we are just backward.
What they do, they come and bring NGOs and give you handouts, and you take it to be something good. We need to kick against it. We need to stand up, but it also lies with us to begin to educate our people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mo. Councillor? Councillor, we're not hearing you.
Poverty in this country has made us to lose our self-dignity. And the once proud people in the interiors of this country are totally lost. They've totally lost their dignities. We were in a village recently, my brothers, my sisters, and myself were in a village recently, and a confusion ensued between different factions in the village because of the same money, the same company issue. So I think there was some money on the line, and one group was saying the money should not be paid to this other group, and another group was saying the money should not be paid to this other group. Because this village was established by our grandfather, when we got there that day, one of the groups wanted us to join them in that nonsense they were on. And I told my brother, I said, but this thing doesn't make any sense. Why should we get involved on either side of this thing? When these people are talking to these people to collect money from them, they do not involve us at all. Because they probably think that when we get involved in the conversation, then the money that should come to them all won't come to them. They don't realize that they get far less than what they would have gotten if they had equals at the table negotiating. We have to change that mindset. We have to move our people. We have to return dignity in the people in the country. We have to get away from the rent-seeking attitude where when someone gets a little bit of money, then the person forgets about every other thing and think that the future will bring us on. Today, we live for today and forget about tomorrow. We have to change that. We have to change the mindset of our people. And more importantly, we have to demand that our government negotiates on behalf of this country properly. We elect these lawmakers, they go in there, and they only self-seek. The only thing they're interested in is what they will bring to themselves, what they will put in their pocket, and how they will build a very nice house. That's all they're interested in. And then they take a little bit of that money and go around giving people scholarships and buying food for some people, and people think that those people are the best people around. We have to change that narrative. And we can only change that narrative if we change the way we run our government. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Lamy. We appreciate you. Let me do my closing, and Fagon will take us home. It is indeed a wonderful program. We appreciate you, our fellow Liberians. We are of all sides. In position, out position, no position. CDC, Unity Party, CPP, Mr. Gonglo Party, that will be what, LPP, right, Councillor Lamy?
Yeah, Liberian People's Party.
Liberian People's Party and all the other political parties. We want to say, make your case. John Spoon, lawmakers, individual, make your case. We speak directly to the Liberian people. We speak their language. We tell them the truth. Because for me, I have no fish to fry. Someone called me a few days ago and said, Stanton, don't burn your bridge for 2029. I told them, please burn it. Burn that bridge for 2029. We are talking about now. We are talking about the fierce urgency of now to help our country, that our country will be a better place, that we can live and our children can go back home and say, yes, we enjoy our time spent in Liberia. Liberia is the place that they will not deport you as a Liberian. Liberia is a place that where you one day you will walk free. You will walk without being afraid that somebody will snatch your bag. Look on the street. Look at Zogos. Look at our fellow Liberians dying and calling for help every day. Is your life better today than 5-6 years ago? Are you satisfied under this government? Under President George Manawiya government? Are you okay? Have you gotten paid? Where is Samuel Tuet today? Ask yourself. Folks, it's now. It's now. Tomorrow may be too late. Right now, at this given time, don't hit me because I'm speaking to my fellow Liberians. Let's discuss the issue. Let's talk about the economies. Do we have one? Do we have an economic system in the country? No. Surplus. Surplus what? Surplus of waste. That's all the government can offer you as a Liberian. Bad healthcare system, bad education, bad school system. Trust me, go to school. No after-school program. If it rains, you sit in the rain to obtain your education. Bad roads. Look at our one and only international airport. It's worse. Look at the system. 5 years. 5 years, my people. And all we ask you, make a sound decision. If you decide to take President Weah back, go ahead. It's your choice. If you want to change, find somebody else. But right now we say to you, think about your children. Think about your grandparents, your own parents. Think about your life. I heard the other day at JFK, they are now positioning two baby moms on the same bed. That's how serious they have gotten. If you are pregnant and you're going to give birth, you go to JFK hospital or other hospital. After you give birth, the two mothers will sleep on the same queen small bed. Our country is draining. Our country is dying. Don't die along with the country. The lawmakers can build the mansions. Folks can decide not to pay the road funds or pay the taxes. That's the system they find themselves in because they work with this government. That's the language the government speak. Can we have a hero? Can we have someone that can change the system? Can we have someone that will say no and the no is no and the yes is yes? Look around in your community. Look around at the ministry. No one go to work anymore. It's a lame duck system of government. Everybody stay home. Why are you going to work? You won't get paid. It's a waste of time. Folks, join us. Let's make the case for a better Liberia. Whether it's JMB or whosoever, whether it's Komis, whether it's Tewan Gonglo, let's make the case for a better Liberia. Liberia is all you have. Think, love Liberia, and make the case for Liberia because Liberia is all you have. I would beg you, it's nothing personal. Don't insult us. We are just here to encourage you that Liberia remains strong. And for a better Liberia, you must be strong. Thank you for joining Spoon always. We love you. The Honorable Minister Eugene Lame Fagon will take us home. Thank you, Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Tanton, and my closing will be very short. There are times when we come on this platform, and I like what you did when you said people should not insult anyone, especially those that were trying to insult Lame for his view. I listened to one of the callers, and you said, and I quote, "I'm confused. What is this guy saying?" He was none other than Joseph Boy Cooper, somebody that I got to know in Ghana. We were all refugees. In my closing, I am saying to Liberians, if you cannot help a cause, don't destroy it. I've been fighting this Western cluster thing. I joined with a group of people. We raised money. We went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled that a lower court should be the one to handle this case. Therefore, they were sending us back down to the lower court. I told my people that it is difficult for us to fight such a big company with the best friend of the company, Edwin Melvin Snow, at the helm of it. Therefore, let us wait, vote right, and have the new government. We will get justice. The world was watching. Again, Joseph Boy Cooper, who's ran in the election and is running again in the election, did not help us to fight. He has one of the good nightclubs on 9th Street. But again, you are running in elections and you say we are sitting on Spoon and we're making fun and we're joking, the whole world watching us. And you're supposed to be a candidate that we're supposed to take serious, to run. Amen. At the end of the day, this Western cluster case we're talking about, I brought it up again today, provided the pictures, and again decided that we discuss it. You come, you look at all of us distinguished gentlemen here, you say we're joking. It's not a place for fun. My friend, the only thing I can say, finally in my closing, submitting to you. If this is what you call joke, then I'm afraid that your candidate say in District 9 or 8, it's a complete comedy show. And woe betide you for saying, I'm not speaking on behalf of the network. You can rest assured, I will go after you politically to find out what you are worth. And if you are substantive enough as a candidate to lead the people in that district. Because if you cannot even listen and learn from a common platform, I don't think you can listen and learn in the legislature. But we as Liberians, whether it be Gonglo, JMB, and others, we're always looking for a common ground. And hopefully, all of our resources, as in the case of Asila Mito, they did not build schools, they did not build hospitals, they didn't do anything. Let's go to Western Cluster, same O. China Union, same O. The Liberian people are waiting for October 10. Beer Mountain, MMG Gold, all of these people, Golden Verolium, please go ahead. Enjoy yourself. You got 4 more months. After that, the right president will be inaugurated into office, and those to be held accountable will be held accountable. Thankfully, we got lawyers like Lamik Pagoy. We got Tiawan Gonglo, who many of us say it will probably be the next justice minister. My candidate is very compassionate and very good. Joseph Boakai will take the best people, and I'm sure Honorable Joseph Boakai will not hesitate to use the expertise of Tiawan Gonglo. He is the incoming president.
Let me hear the man giving Tiawan Gonglo justice minister position.
No, I said he will not hesitate to consider him for that position. I didn't say he would give it to him.
I mean, when I hear you, that's quite a bad guy. You hearing the man saying
Gonglo wanted to be justice minister or even chief justice. If Councilor Gonglo wanted to be chief justice, he will go be the chief justice.
Justice minister. I want to ask the Liberian people, what you bow? So you tell the man from being president not to be justice minister.
The man resigned as a labor minister. The man resigned as a labor minister.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish.
Justice.
I have 30 more seconds. Let me finish. So,
you just threw a raw meat to us.
Has always used a broom to wipe up corruption. Now that we know Asila Mito, Western Cluster, MMG Go, when Ambassador Joseph Newman Boakai takes over in January of 2024, he might be considered to help Ambassador Boakai fight corruption. He is actually on that list, I'm told, and we welcome him, and we know for a fact that Joseph Newman Boakai will take the best, as he is now poised to become the next president of the Republic of Liberia. I respectfully submit.
Paco, let me give you the last minute, man. Don't let this guy run with that thing.
No, we can't let him run.
Councilor Gonglo was offered to be Associate Justice of the Supreme Court when Mr. Salif took over. He elected to be Solicitor General because he thought that way he could make changes in his country, and he succeeded in making changes there. Right now, Councilor Gonglo is running to be president of Liberia because we have to change the dynamics of politics in this country. We have to change the dynamics of governance in this country. We have to bring transparency and accountability to governance. That's the reason why he's running for president. Otherwise, if he was sitting there thinking that he want to be justice minister, he would not be running for president.
We're considering him for an attorney general position.
Because Councilor Gonglo has realized, and the rest of us have realized, in order to bring change to this country, you got to be at the top. There's no way.
That's not true.
There's no way. I mean, Mrs. Salif said all the things she used to stem people think bullshit. At the end of the day, she came to power. What happened? Huh? If you're not,
I don't know about Madam Salif. You got to talk about JMB.
If you're not at the top in this country,
talking about JMB, let me come here a little bit.
The society.
Let me finish the show. No, guys, we're finished. Listen, Mr.
Let me-
Gibson, keep that talk. Keep that talk for next week, for
give me
tomorrow.
10 minutes, man. 10 minutes,
Yeah,
man. 10
not
minutes.
10 minutes.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds. You're talking about JMB. You know, when we come here, we are trained not to go against opposition as if we are going against the government. But
That's true.
JMB presidency is like making Alari Toba president, Kesali president, Gafwan president, and Mo Ali president, because the old man
On
will
that
be
note,
at
we
the
want to
house
say,
while you
we
people
want
are
to say
eating the
thank
money
you.
in the executive mansion.
On that
The
note,
old man will be at the house. Joe Paga can be to
Chairman
his
Barrow,
house.
Chairman
Joe
Barrow,
Paga can be to his house.
I would say this to you, Gibson, real quick right now. It's so surprising. This late, Jose Yima Boyka is having a meeting with the Lofa caucus. This late. I don't know why Mo Ali is not there. As late as it is, the old man is engaging.
The old man move at
So if you
night.
say old man, I can
Let me say something quickly. You know, Gibson, you woke me up. I work directly in JMB's office.
I know.
And before I'm there, 8:30, he's already there, sitting waiting. He has meetings throughout the day and in the night sometimes. Yeah, Stanton is right. He's having, because you know there are some issue with the UP convention in Lofa, and the party just push it on and say, okay, since Lofa is for you, solve that other problem. Tonight he's having meeting.
I was saying this to you, and I asked JMB, I said, why are you not resting? He said, my son, he said, nephew, I can't rest. And the people here at my house, we have a meeting right now. I could hear the voices. So let me say this to you. It's not a joke, folks. Everybody need that time. Everybody need that time to give chance, you know. Again, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless you.
Gibson, start living with the reality that JMB is the next president.
We'll talk tomorrow.
Okay.
To get your information, to be part of.
Well, this is how I love to take leave of you. The invitation is yours to join us tomorrow, 8 o'clock local time, when we will be here with another splendid edition of the program, Spoon Talk. My name is Byron Brown. Do have a God bless night for mine. Bye-bye.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.